Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 101, The Conference of Heroes, Start. Now then, it's about time to head to the meeting. Naofumi. After eating at the inn, I proceed to the conference hall. I go there following Shadow's instructions. Well, I'm off. Naofumi. Good luck. Raphatalia. Luck. Phiro. After a quick word, Raphatalia and Phiro take their leaves. I went outside of the large inn and go up a long spiral staircase. The view of the island through the windows on the staircase is breathtaking. What is that? There seems to be a bridge of red light descending on the adjacent island. It isn't my imagination, right? Was that there yesterday? It's here, Gojiru, Shadow. We had climbed a tower-like structure and reached the top floor of it. I enter the room. In the center is a table with documents distributed in intervals around the edge. Ren and Itsuki are already seated. Thank you for earlier, Itsuki. Do you enjoy spying on others? Naofumi. You jest, do you think that we are actually having fun? Itsuki. He seems to be making a bored face now, but just a few moments ago he seemed to be having the time of his life. What convenient justice. You were also there, so you are an accomplice. Naofumi. Fuan. It seems that an unnecessary charge has been placed on me. Ren. Then you should have just gotten out quickly. Naofumi. I am accusing him because he stayed in the bath for a pointlessly long amount of time. These perverts. So, where is the ever so important head pervert? Naofumi. Ah. Sorry. I'm late. Motoyasu. As we were talking, Motoyasu enters the room while laughing. For now, we all sit in the seats prepared. The arrangement of the room gives off the feeling of knights sitting around a round table. From here on, the four heroes will begin their information exchange meeting. I, Shadow, will serve as moderator and guide for this meeting. Shadow. Shadow gives a short introduction. From tomorrow onwards, Kalmyra Island will truly awaken, so we have called the heroes together to share information on greater methods of training to prepare for the next wave. Gojiru. Please keep that in mind as you discuss. Gojiru. Shadow. Wait a second. Naofumi and Itsuki. Me and Itsuki chime in at the same time. Wait, what do you mean by truly awaken? What does that mean we have been doing until now? What is it, Heroes of the Shield and Baoyaru? Shadow. Are you saying the island hasn't awakened yet? Itsuki. It has started. Gojiru. But the greatest awakening effects come starting tomorrow. Gojiru. Shadow. I still don't understand. What are you so confused about? It's obvious, isn't it? Motoyasu. I agree. Ren. Ren and Motoyasu act as if this sort of thing is common sense. Of course, the awakening comes in stages and the greatest prizes come at the end. Motoyasu. Yes. Ren. How should I have known that? Please explain from the beginning. Naofumi. The Earl should have already explained it. Gojiru, Shadow. Now that I think about it, he did say something about powerful monsters appearing at the center of the islands once they were awakened, something about how those monsters held the greatest EXP or something. I thought he meant the monsters we had been dealing with every day. Was the red glow a sign that the islands were awakening? I didn't hear anything about this. Itsuki. Itsuki responds with a shout. Ah, right. Itsuki's sense of this world comes from computer games. Did his games not have events that gained EXP in stages? He may have ignored that Count's speech because he assumed he knew everything already. Anyways, from tomorrow onwards, stronger boss-like monsters will begin to appear. Naofumi. Correct, it's the perfect place for raising levels. Motoyasu. I can't wait, Ren. And that's why the hero information exchange is happening today. Gojiru. Shadow. Instead of heading forward without any information, I guess sharing info now would be best. Famu. I guess there's no choice. It should be fine. You people, what is that, Naofumi? I point to the strap that the other three heroes have attached to their weapons. Oh, this? It's an item famous on this island that speeds up leveling. Motoyasu. Yes, if you have this equipped, it increases the EXP gained. Itsuki. You didn't know. Ren. I'll check it just in case. Miracle strap. Quality very poor. There are no EXP increasing abilities. That man is doing well. Does it really have that ability? Naofumi. You really have never heard of it? It's quite famous. Itsuki. You need to improve your information gathering skills. Ren. Yes, it really works. Motoyasu. The one who is the origin of the accessory and the rumor is me, but... crap. I feel happy. These people are being tricked. Why are you smiling creepily right now? Itsuki. It's nothing. Naofumi. Since you didn't have this, you might have fallen behind. Ren. Do you even have any motivation? Motoyasu. I'll buy one later. Naofumi. The ones who received them seem happy and they do technically have the genuine goods. Ma. Laugh sound. Let's get back on topic. Naofumi. This is bad. My sides are hurting. Is it possible that, the trust spawned from the lie created a realistic effect? There is a chance that the games Ren and Motoyasu played had event items like this. Well, they're not losing anything by wearing it. Well then, heroes, please begin talking about what you learned about the other heroes' comrades. Gojiru. Shadow. Comrades, hi. And all of a sudden, my high spirits subside. Naofumi, you should train your party properly. Ren. Right. To just leave the party, what the hell are you teaching them? Phiro-san's inquisition was excruciating. Itsuki. It's time. They all suddenly turn on me. Don't stay silent, Motoyasu. Well, I guess Motoyasu can at least understand why he made Raphatalia mad. And he won't complain about a girl. That is my line. Raphatalia isn't very picky. It seems she couldn't accept or understand the actions of the other heroes. Naofumi. What you say? Ren. I also understand why she was mad. In Ren's case, it was a lack of direction, and in Itsuki's case it was lies. Naofumi. And I'm saying I didn't tell any lies. Itsuki. He's still saying that. He's been cornered this far and he still doesn't give in. Well, as long as he's next to Ren and Motoyasu, I guess he can act like he is correct and I am deluded. Falcon Strike, was it? It was a big skill that used half your SP and had a cooldown of 15 minutes. Right. Naofumi. Really? I don't remember it being that sort of skill. Ren. You, Itsuki. You said something like? That's a blatant lie, isn't it? Motoyasu. As I thought. If he had an amazing skill like that, he would have used it on the Pope. Well, if you want to pace yourself in a battle, you wouldn't use your strongest skills. She looks up to all the heroes. She got mad because that very hero turned out to be a snob. Naofumi. Aren't you one as well? Itsuki. Yes, Raphatalia gets mad at me quite often. Naofumi. I don't plan on helping these people, but I have talked to Raphatalia and convinced her that heroes are people too. I guess that's also an effect of the personnel exchange. I have already warned Raphatalia. I believe she acted based on strong emotions. Your party members left my party as well. Should I point out your party's shortcomings? Naofumi. Try it if you can. Itsuki. Itsuki seems to have no intention of giving up. Well, I finally get a chance to tell him off. Then, Itsuki. What do you think a party is? There is a hierarchy, and they believe themselves to represent absolute justice. Do you plan to start a religion? Those people did nothing but talk of you. Naofumi. Yeah, I felt that as well. They were polite, but they only talked of you. I was sick of it by the end. Motoyasu. Yes, they spoke as if you were some sort of messiah. That is dangerous business. Their hunting etiquette was also terrible. Ren and Motoyasu also felt it. They side with me. So those people acted the same with all the other heroes. There's no choice if I want to represent justice. I'm a hero, you know. They all just respect me. There is no hierarchy. Itsuki. These are harsh accusations. Ren and Motoyasu also seem to understand this. Itsuki is avoiding the main points. It seems he is afraid of rebuttals. They kept on spouting nonsense that sounded like the teachings of the three-hero church. Ren. They did not. Itsuki. Is what Itsuki said, but, as the other heroes, including me, said as much, so he cannot really refute anything. On to Ren. I sensed a large disconnection in your comrades. When they introduced themselves, they asked, so where do you want us to go train? Naofumi. That's right. At first I did not know what they were talking about. Can you really call those comrades? Itsuki. Itsuki, should you really be saying that? I got the feeling that they were like the younger members of a guild. You choose what hunting ground they go to, but don't get involved any further. It's difficult to call those people comrades. You can pair up with whoever you want, but those people could have paired up with any other hero. And nothing would have changed. Naofumi. I don't know if I should say any more, but from here on collaboration is important. We also need to share information regarding our levels. It will be good information when fighting stronger enemies. Those people seem like they could operate even if you didn't exist. Itsuki. What are you saying? Isn't it better if they learn to fight even if I'm not there? Ren. He's trying to approach this rationally, but I think he shouldn't deny his own existence. Your party seems like a group of adventurers from a guild that could break off at any time and form their own guild. If left alone, they might grow without your knowledge, Naofumi. Wait, that's brilliant. That level party. If it grew, we might have an effective army to combat the wave. It was a random idea, but it might actually be effective. Now that I think about it, there is no real need for us to do anything. This world's adventurers can work something out. Shadow, that was a brilliant idea. Please report it to the Queen. Naofumi. Don't go deciding things by yourself. Ren. Ren is quite nervous. Shadow whispers something into my ear. That will be troublesome, Gojiru. Shadow. Why? Naofumi. Actually, it is only the summoned heroes that get to hunt freely in this world. If the force gets too big, the environment will, Shadow, TL, Monster Hunter. I see, so it's a problem with the amount of available monsters. Well, it doesn't happen in games, but I guess that here, monster populations can decrease. Your comrades, you know. You should get closer to each other. If they get stronger, then they'll become like Itsuki's comrades. Naofumi. TL, he's implying that if he will become more of a legend than a person if he doesn't interact more. And I'm telling you you're wrong. Itsuki. They won't. Ren. When you're gone they'll say. Ren-sama is a wonderful person. Would you like to hear some wonderful stories of his exploits? Naofumi. Gu, Ren. Ren can't say any more, so he stays quiet. Well, there shouldn't be any more problems with him and my party. I warned Raphatalia, it should be fine. What about your places, Raphatalia? Ren. I won't brag about her. Raphatalia gets mad at me for my behavior as well. Naofumi. I want to believe I'm respected, but I don't really know. What do you want to tell me about Raphatalia? Naofumi. She left my party. Itsuki. I could say the same. Naofumi. Then this argument won't get anywhere. Ren. Understanding that chastising my comrades won't get anywhere, Ren turns to Motoyasu. Motoyasu, do you have anything to say about Naofumi's comrades? Ren. None. Raphatalia is very diligent, and I was also at fault. Motoyasu. Now then on to Motoyasu. I didn't really learn anything new from Raphatalia about Motoyasu. I can berate his party as well, but it seems Bitch acts differently around the other heroes, so I don't think I will get consensus. If I go about this wrong, I might end up taking damage myself. Motoyasu's party is, does anyone have anything to say about it? Naofumi. They just cheered me on. I was speechless. Is that supposed to be a cheering squad? Ren. That's not a party. While I was out fighting, they had returned to the inn, Itsuki. Ren and Itsuki say these statements with a bitter face. So they behaved like that with everyone else as well. We're heroes, aren't we? Shouldn't we be the ones on the front lines? Motoyasu. Being the vanguard is fine, but this is completely different. Those people only fought when there was no other option. Itsuki. To be honest, I think you would be better off without those people. In my case, they said they wanted to watch me fight, and eventually returned to the inn without slaying a single monster. Ren. Even as I stay silent, Ren and Itsuki pile on complaints. But I am of the same opinion. It seems those women were at least trying to act supportive in these cases, but I won't say anything. Naofumi, what about you? Ren. If I say anything, a fight will break out. Naofumi. I see. Ren. Bitch and friends were acting differently with the other heroes. There is a possibility people will rise to their defenses. There are many things I want to say, but I wanted to hear the others first. I will let this opportunity slide. Now then, let's end the discussion of comrades at this Goju. Please keep these complaints in your heart as we continue the meeting. Shadow. Understood. Ren. I'm not satisfied, but I'll leave it here. Itsuki. Okay. Naofumi. Yes, yes. Motoyasu. None of these people are repenting, are they? Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 102, The Conference of Heroes, during Shadow. Next, please inform each hero Dano of the problems pointed out from each other's comrades. Goju. Naofumi Raphtalia did that at my place. Motoyasu is a skirt chaser, Ren has coordination problems and focuses on training his juniors. Itsuki likes to stir up trouble and then solve it himself. He is also a liar. Note, Itsuki was described as a match pump, and through Googlefu I found it means the person who strikes a match to burn something, in a fun more often than not, and tries to extinguish a fire when it flames up. What can I say? I put myself in an unnecessary position. The companions of the heroes should have pointed all these out. Motoyasu now from my place. Motoyasu raises his hand and declares. Motoyasu, the opinions from my companions are as follows: Ren is cold, Itsuki is holding back, and Naofumi is out of the question. That's so simple. Motoyasu, Ren, you being cool is a good thing, but it would be better if you think about getting to know more people and befriending them. Itsuki, you should step it up as hero more. Naofumi, as for you. Naofumi, that's the opinion of someone firing an attack magic at me from behind, you know. Shadow, I will act as confirmation of that. Goju. Since former Princess Bitch has designated hero of the Shield Dano as her sworn enemy, her remarks have no meaning. Goju. Motoyasu, understood. With a light-hearted feeling, the complaints Motoyasu's companions have ended. Rem, next is me. Ren raises his hand and says. Ren. Motoyasu, my companion's opinion on you is, for what reason are you fighting? I heard that you were a serious skirt chaser. Next is Itsuki, you are holding back. Naofumi seems to have no problems. Itsuki, why is there nothing on Naofumi-san? What do you mean by that? You're saying it as if I will cause problems wherever I go. I did cause some though. Ren, no, those guys watched Naofumi fight and said Hero of the Shield Sama is very reliable. It's not my opinion. Motoyasu, rather. Holding back, you are cutting way too many corners. Motoyasu and Ren brought to light the issue of Itsuki cutting corners on a daily basis. Itsuki, that's not it. I'm just concerned about not standing out. Naofumi, concerned about waiting for your companions to be in a pinch? That was one of the reasons Raphtalia got angry. Motoyasu, that's terrible. I can agree with Raphtalia-chan about getting angry when you produce drama. Motoyasu takes advantage of the situation and calls out Itsuki. You did something similar too. Itsuki, that's why I said that wasn't it. Naofumi, however, you are still a liar. Motoyasu, yeah, looks like it. Itsuki, please quit over it already. Itsuki interrupts with a half-crazed feeling. But I told him it is the consequences of his own actions. Motoyasu, now then, it's your turn last. Itsuki. Itsuki, my turn. What does Motoyasu fight for? You even tried to pick up women from my side. Ren. San. What about you? You left and went to fight alone. Furthermore, I heard that Naofumi-san was selfish and cruel. Naofumi, they were a group of people who could only think about justice. Their manners on the Hunting grounds were also bad. Shadow, have you already investigated? Shadow, yes, I have, Digojuru. Hero of the Baodano's companions were extremely self-assertive. Digojuru. They blackmailed other adventurers and monopolized demons. There was also a bunch of other problematic behaviors, Digojuru. Ren, speaking of which, in internet terminology, you were mobbing demons by attacking first. I'm warning you. Ren takes advantage of the situation and warns him. Right, this time it's Ren, huh? Itsuki, what is that? Motoyasu, it is impolite in net games to intercept a demon that someone else is trying to fight. Explains Motoyasu. Naofumi, you shouldn't be relying on that kind of thing. That was already explained in the beginning. During our island tour. Since it would cause an uproar that we don't need. To be frank, your legitimacy as a hero is damaged. I supplement with my input. When pointed out by all the heroes, Itsuki had no choice but to withdraw. Itsuki-gu, I understand. Naofumi, those hero companions saw Itsuki's conduct, and learned from that. Itsuki, well, I'll keep Naofumi-san's selfish advice in mind, you're the worst. Though it's Itsuki's turn, he badmouths me. Well, I had it coming. Itsuki, I say, Motoyasu-san. What is up with you? Did you not pick anyone up? Naofumi, I thought so too. Don't you already have a woman? Yet you guys are peeping at the ladies' bath like it's a manga. Though I resent Itsuki, Ren, and Motoyasu. Didn't you guys think it would be bad and stop while peeping? Motoyasu, oh man. Isn't it a man's duty to chase after girls? I do not regret it. Naofumi, when you say it like that, it feels like you're praising yourself. In a sense, he's great. There is a sense of defeat when he just comes out and seriously declares he wants to make a harem. Motoyasu, this is unproductive. Let's stop it. While looking at our cold expressions, Motoyasu decides to stop it with a refreshing smile. Since you understand and say that it's useless. Shadow, now then, the main subject of the information exchange between heroes will start now. Digojeruyo. When Shadow decided to move on, everyone fell silent. Perhaps their habits of concealing themselves will be dealt with here. Itsuki, Naofumi-san. Why don't you start speaking first? Naofumi, why me? I came to this world without any of your background knowledge, you know. Itsuki, nevertheless, your companions are unnaturally strong for their levels. This could also be related to that abominable shield you possess. Ren, that's right, I would also like to hear that story first. From the beginning, that child Raphtalia and that demon named Phiro are unnaturally strong. Motoyasu, right? The strengths of Raphtalia-chan and Phiro-chan are so remarkably dependable. Is this their purpose? That means, Raphtalia and Phiro didn't let these guys know about their growth in the Curse series. If I simply speak about it, that should be it. Naofumi, if I speak about it, can you guys compensate me with information? Itsuki, what? In such a situation with this much recognition and materials, I can negotiate plenty with my opponents. Do you guys assume that I'll just give up all my information just because you caught on I'm hiding it? Naofumi, how about it? You guys called the shield a weak job, and cut me off without teaching me anything. Even if I tell you guys the secret of my strength, there is no guarantee that you guys will tell me. This is necessary, do you understand? Itsuki, there was nothing in particular to teach. Ren, look at the help section. Motoyasu, well, I certainly didn't talk in detail. Each one of them answers awkwardly. Naofumi, in any case, didn't you guys say nothing? The self-proclaimed cool one just told me to look at the help section. Are there efficient hunting grounds in the help section too? Your expressions all look like they want to draw information out of me. However, with those attitudes you won't be hearing any stories. It is a fact that during negotiations both parties are equals, and it is also a rule of negotiating to be able to dominate to the atmosphere. Right now, the atmosphere in the room is that if they want to hear information from me, then they must also speak. Will you guys still push forwards even after I added this one element? Naofumi, oh right, by the way, it is impossible for shadows to grasp any secrets of your power. Shadow, that's right, Digojuru. It is impossible for us to fully grasp how strong each respective Hero Dano will become, Digojuru. Naofumi, just like you guys have a habit of hiding yourselves, I do too. The time has come for us to speak unreservedly. Ren tch. Ren clicks his tongue in vexation. Naofumi, before, during the last wave, you guys already lost once. If that was handled poorly, you guys would have died. Itsuki, what are you saying? That was a battle event. We were meant to lose. Naofumi, ha. Ren, no, if us heroes or our companions are defeated, we are carried off to the hospital. We will not die. There is divine protection. Motoyasu, that surprise fight against the Pope was evidence, as we were carried to the hospital. What the hell are you saying? Are their head okay? Shadow, you were rescued by us, Digojiruga. What are you saying, Digojiru? Sometimes hero of the shield Dano says words that I cannot understand. Digojiruga, what kind of thing is it? Digojiruga. Shadow speaks in an unusually perplexed voice. I have the same opinion. These guys, right now they are declaring we are immortal. We won't die no matter what. Opening. Naofumi tentatively, I defeated the one who you guys weren't able to beat. All three we can defeat you, Naofumi-san, who has a weak job easily. What are these guys saying? Revival at the hospital after defeat? Does this feel like a game? Did you guys seriously call that a battle event? So, even though they lost, they didn't count it. Though my job was mocked as weak, I feel no anger at all. This is Itsuki, since it doesn't matter, continue talking. It doesn't matter, whether or not these guys treat this as a game. Oh shit. Something is very dangerous. They need to rethink their consciousness immediately. Naofumi, you guys know this isn't a game, right? There is no way to return if you die. Itsuki, that's why we have divine protection. Ren, indeed. Motoyasu, that's right. This isn't working. It's useless to continue talking. Right now, this sense of impending crisis can compete for the top or second worst problem ever since coming to this world. Although, I can see why they aren't cautious, I can't do anything but adjust the conversation accordingly. Naofumi, ha, let's scratch what we have and start the review from the beginning. Let's start by discussing things you can get from the help section. Itsuki, can't be helped. Ren, yes, there's no point for us heroes to work against each other. Motoyasu, well, the results won't change. The answers these guys give sound like they already given up halfway. Anyway, let's inquire about their methods of powering up. Let's reassure my pace that was ruined by their ambiguous answers. Naofumi, right, there is someone who lies, so let's pour our information together first. So if a lie is told, it can be spotted. Surely a hero of justice that will save the world and keep the balance, won't just lie, am I right, Itsuki? Itsuki, I did not tell any lies. Naofumi, I wonder about that. Lying feels awkward, am I right, Ren? Ren, ah, yeah. Naofumi, liars are hated by women, am I right, Motoyasu? Motoyasu, that's right. Something like this? By building a premise of sealing off lies, we can start our discussion. Off the top of my head, I know that Ren dislikes anything uncool. Motoyasu always takes a good look at women. Itsuki is right too, well, that justice is also for self-satisfaction. In this situation where lying would equal being evil, it would be difficult to lie. If that is pointed out, it would be unlikely for false information to appear. Naofumi, then Itsuki, you speaking about the most basics of basics is good enough. Itsuki, why did the talk progress like this, Naofumi-san? Though Itsuki arches his eyebrows unpleasantly, turns his face to us and starts talking. Itsuki, the hero's weapons will unseal new skill trees. Naofumi, that's right. Itsuki, there was a game I played called Dimension Wave that had a skill tree resembled the one in the system, but the selections changed and it got bigger. Naofumi, It wasn't exactly the same. Itsuki, yes, it was almost the same, but there are many weapons that I don't know of. Then that means he doesn't know all the information of the weapon. Certainly if I know what the unsealed ability would do, I would know the effect of the shields from the demon system and slave system. Itsuki, after changing once, when you change your weapon back to before, the difference would still be there. The other heroes also nod. Tentatively, are there other changeable parts too? Don't get caught up in that now. Ren, next is me. Ren raises his hand and speaks. Ren, this is a continuation of Itsuki's story. When the materials of a demon are absorbed and unsealed, equipment bonuses can be gained by equipping it. That is reliable information. It is something I do all the time. Ren, well, this equipment bonus system is a little different from the Brave Star online system that I was using. Naofumi, it's different. Ren, yeah, the acquisition of skill points and skill levels for skills. It means that even after equipping, it isn't available to use at any time. Well, it's certainly something that isn't too different from what I can agree with. Even in games that I played, your character got skill points to distribute, and in the game you could make your characters original. What can I say, I don't think that I can acquire all of the skills from the trees from releasing the shields. However, so far there is already a difference. Do these guys think it's the same as those games? Ren, that's right. I am not wrong. Naofumi, yet. Ren, but us heroes are probably the only ones that can acquire all the skills. Ah, I see. Usually adventurers can only learn a limited amount of skills. But we obtained cheat-like powers due to the legendary weapons. Motoyasu, next is me, the weapon can copy another weapon from the same system. There is a weapon copy system. Naofumi, ha. Motoyasu, yes, although this was a big difference, but I was saved due to the strong weapons available. Ren, right, we are heroes. Such a thing can be done too. Motoyasu, I think everyone here understands that the assortment of goods in the weapons shops and the mercenaries in the capital of country Zeltbol are good. At Motoyasu's words, the other two nod as if this was common sense. Naofumi, what is that? Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 103, The Conference of Heroes, End. I reject the sudden accusation in a loud voice. Weapon copy? There was nothing written about this on the help screen. I've been in this world for 4 months. I have committed the contents of the help screen to heart. From this person's explanation, it seems he modified all of his weapons the second he got them. Naofumi. You don't even know that? I'm surprised you've survived until now. Motoyasu. Damn. It's pissing me off. This person's eyes are pissing me off. No wonder I was getting nothing but strange shields. I never got any normal shields like iron shield or round shield or buckler. I did think it was strange. Did you find that function on your own? Naofumi. More like, isn't it common sense to use the weapons from the weapon store? The weapons were weak at first, so I obviously visited the store. Motoyasu. Now that I think about it, I had previously decided to leave my shield as it was and had tried to equip a sword. At that time, system warning. To the holder of the legendary weapon. You have tried to equip a weapon besides your legendary weapon had popped up. At that time I had realized that I couldn't equip any weapons. I received a system warning, but weapon copy never came up. Naofumi. Ah, Itsuki. Oh course. Ren. My head was starting to hurt. Of course, I am the shield, but the first thing any adventurer looks for should not be a shield. I already had a basic shield, so I looked for a one-handed sword or anything else I could use as a weapon. Is that why I never notices? To advance the conversation, Ren, why did you already know which monsters to hunt to advance your weapon? Naofumi. How? Isn't it common sense to check the identity of your drops? Ren. Drop? Ah. In normal net games, monsters do drop items. Items that had no relations to the actual parts of the monsters. The store also sold some high-quality items. They had plenty of ingredients. It really gave off the feeling that I was in another world. Ren. Yep, Motoyasu. And there were a lot of useful items within the monster drops. Itsuki. It seems that a lot of useful information is coming out one after the other. And it seems that it applies to all the weapons. It feels like the time I first came to this world. The feeling is unpleasant. Preparing equipment was basic, and then comes, Ren. Learning skills, correct. Itsuki. For argument's sake, please explain in greater detail. Naofumi. It feels like these people are teaching it as if it is common sense. I'll strengthen my heart, and inquire further. Once you acquire recipes and skills, if you feed them to your weapon, the system makes them for you. If you do it enough times, the weapon learns the skill by itself. Itsuki. The system does it by itself. What the hell? It seems that it will still boost effects if you make it by hand, but as long as you have the recipe, the weapon makes it by itself? So the reason Motoyasu had holy water was because he made it himself? And it seems the materials come from monster drops. The drawback is that the weapon can only store items made from drops. Ren. It really lightens the load. Itsuki, TL, there was a hammer space system. It seems that the system has some shortcomings, but I lived without any of the benefits. To think I would be getting so much useful information. I motion for Shadow to take notes. Regarding hunting grounds, we'll need to set some ground rules. Itsuki. Right. We could divide by level, but the monsters will probably be the same across the islands. Ren. We need to make sure our hunting grounds don't overlap. Motoyasu. Correct. Itsuki. Well then, is there anything else? Ren. I pound this information into my head as I listen quietly. Then I'll tell you my special method of becoming stronger. Itsuki. Itsuki sticks his chest out and begins talking. In this world, the rarity of equipment is everything. After that is money. If you don't build these up from the beginning, there is no point. Itsuki. What a blatant lie. Ren. To mix in a lie after starting off with true statements, you really are the worst. Motoyasu. And all of a sudden, Ren, Itsuki and Motoyasu are in disagreement. In one sentence, the atmosphere had deteriorated. What are you going on about? This is definitely the truth. Itsuki. No, it's a lie. Ren. Yeah, you really are a liar. Motoyasu. And no. I never lie. Itsuki. Itsuki's behavior is clearly different from before. It's not the same behavior as when he was defending his lie. He currently seems to be genuinely angry. Well, Itsuki has been being called a liar for the whole meeting. Getting mad is understandable. I suddenly remember something. Now that I think about it, Itsuki, you seem to gather this gem quite often. Naofumi. I take out the gem that Rishia handed me and place it on the table. Why yes, this is useful in strengthening weapons. Itsuki. Refining, hi. Well, it is a game-like system. It's important to strengthen your weapons to their limits. Itsuki. I bet there are risks of failure. Please tell us all of the details truthfully. Motoyasu. Motoyasu warns him. There is no failure. Itsuki. No failure? What does that mean? I don't get it. What are you talking about? There can't be such a convenient gem. Naofumi. For a while, you have been doing nothing but deny me. Ren, please explain it to him. Itsuki. Me? Fine, I'll tell the truth to Naofumi. Ren. Why am I being singled out? But it's the truth that I want to know. In this world, level is everything. As long as you raise your skill level, things will work out. Ren. Lies are not good. Itsuki. Yes, please stop lying with a straight face. Motoyasu. So which is it? Naofumi, it seems like you'll get nothing useful out of these people, so I'll specially tell you. 2. Strengthen your weapons, you must increase your proficiency in them, Ren. Proficiency. Naofumi. Yes, if you use the same weapon for a long amount of time, it will get stronger. And when a weapon becomes obsolete, you can convert that proficiency into energy and transfer it. Storing energy unleashes extreme powers. This is most important, Ren. Why are you lying in the heat of the moment? Motoyasu. Don't be bothered by these people. All that's important is rarity. In normal games, low-level rare items would lose out in late game, but the legendary weapons are different. Itsuki. Just by listening to these people makes me want to try out different things. However, everything they say is a mystery. I don't know what to believe. What a guy. He can say such lies with a cool face. Motoyasu. Motoyasu derides Ren. Yes, you shouldn't listen to him. He's lying. Itsuki. I really don't know what's going on. What should I do? Naofumi. First open your weapon tree and check your weapon proficiency. Ren. As told, I open my weapon tree and look at the Chimera Viper shield, a shield I use quite often. I just see the normal status window. What am I supposed to check? Nothing is happening. There's nothing, but, Naofumi. So it was a lie. It's not like I believed him, but this guy is also a liar. Weapon copy also seems dubious. That can't be. I know what you are doing, you're making me out as a liar. Ren. I also don't have that function. Motoyasu. Me neither. It wasn't written on the help screen. Itsuki. Wah. Never mind. The me that tried to help you was an idiot. Ren. Ren makes a dejected face and sits back in his chair. The usually cool Ren has taken quite a bit of damage. I have to assume that everything they told me is a lie. It wasn't written in the help, so. I was still in the middle of my conversation. To strengthen equipment, you take energy from items. And then you can add percentage points to the equipment through enchantment. Itsuki. Like plus 10% attack. Naofumi. Yes, this process takes up a lot of time, but there is a 0% chance of failure. Itsuki. That's a lie. You're giving Naofumi knowledge from a separate game. Ren. And I'm saying it's not a lie. By absorbing items dropped from monsters into our weapons, we can increase our stats. This applies to all forms of the legendary weapons. Like increasing the level of another job. Itsuki, TL, I don't know if this is a specific reference, it applies to a couple of games. Ah, so that's why Itsuki was mentioning monsters and percents earlier. To even lie to Fyro, he is quite thorough. Yes, they keep saying bull crap, so let's leave Ren and Itsuki aside and move on to me. Motoyasu. I don't really want to hear it, Naofumi. It seems everything I have heard so far has been a lie. To be blunt, this world is all about strengthening weapons. Using your equipment to their utmost. Level is exponentially more important than level. As long as you get status bonuses, you can overcome level gap. Even a terrible weapon can be strong if upgraded. Motoyasu. That's a large lie. Naofumi. Let me continue, Naofumi-san. Motoyasu. Motoyasu starts talking to me out of nowhere. It changes based on the weapon, but you can then use a special gem to enchant weapons. In the original Emerald Online, there was a chance of losing the weapon, but for the legendary weapons, that chance is 0. Motoyasu. There is no such system. Itsuki. Yet. Ren. This has turned into nothing but a shouting match. Shadow also seems to be troubled. I'm just as troubled as Shadow. It's all about status enchantment. If you feed your weapon the souls of different monsters, the effect is different. If you fight the same enemy for a while, you get attack bonuses against that enemy. Motoyasu. Please stop it already. Itsuki. Yeah, you are speaking of a different game. Ren. Ren and Itsuki shout at Motoyasu in loud voices. For the love of. Why must all of you speak such lies? Motoyasu. That would be you. Itsuki. Hello Mr. Pot, can I introduce you to Mrs. Kettle? Ren. TL, personal touch, the dialogue is getting boring. I'm sorry to intrude, but, Naofumi. I'm beginning to see the connection. It seems that Ren, Itsuki, and Motoyasu have seen different things. Could it just be that each weapon works on a different system? Naofumi. Yes, it seems that way. It's the same for what happened with my skills. Itsuki. That makes sense. But Itsuki, we haven't confirmed whether or not you are lying, Ren. But that means that none of this information will help me, Naofumi. And the conversation was back on track. Well, these people got genuinely angry, so I guess they weren't lying. They had nothing to gain by lying here anyways. This meeting was organized by the Queen to help combat the wave, anyways. Well, last is me. Naofumi. Yes, you haven't said anything for a while, so now tell us everything. Itsuki. I have take no responsibility in whether or not he lies or not. Motoyasu. These people. First, what do you want to hear? Naofumi. Why are Raphatalia and Fyro so strong? Ren. Having these people understand my abilities may save my life one day. So I just tell them the truth. Yes, that is the bonus from the Slave User and Monster User Shield series. They speed up the growth of monsters and slaves. They pretty much increase stat gain, and the effects are quite potent. Fyro also gets bonuses from the Philo Real Shield series. Naofumi. Should I also tell them about the Ahog class up item? There was no such skills in the shield users of my game. Ren. I agree. An ability that convenient comes close to cheating. Where did you get such a shield? Itsuki. Cheating, hey. Well, I can't argue with that. I got the slave user shield when I absorbed the ink used for making the slave seal. I got the monster user shield by absorbing the egg Fyro was born from. Naofumi. Well, if you can prove your absorption ability, we will believe you. Ren. He may be lying. Itsuki. Say what you will. Naofumi. Then next. When fighting the Pope. Your battle abilities were surprisingly high. I've never seen such an ominous shield in my games. Itsuki. Itsuki is staring at me with doubting eyes. How troublesome. TL, he says Fuyakai Disu if you wanted to know. Where did you get that power? No, let me rephrase that. Where did you meet God? Itsuki. Wa. Naofumi. Where did you meet God, and get the power to cheat? In the forums for my game, I have read about a user who was able to meet God and gain that ability. Answer me. Itsuki, TL, really? Really? You. Even if it's a joke, you shouldn't go that far. Since coming to this world, I have met much misfortune, but phrases that annoy me to this extent are rare to come across. I'm not cheating. Naofumi. For the shield to have that much attack power, you must be cheating. Itsuki. Ren and Motoyasu nod. Where did you get that power? If we were to obtain it, our powers would increase exponentially. Please tell us. Itsuki. He has already assumed that he is correct. I'm getting a bit angry. You don't think I could have gotten power through honest effort? Naofumi. Like hell. Itsuki. He believes that the shield will always remain weak. It's a legendary weapon. There's no way it can be as weak as he believes. I just earnestly raised my stats by unlocking new shields and made use of the powerful curse series, that takes a toll on my body every time I use it. Yet this person is asking where I obtained the ability to cheat. That shield originated from a shield called the Shield of Rage, and evolved into a series called the Curse series. The conditions under which it appears are uncertain, but it manifests whenever my rage crosses a certain boundary. I got it when I first fought Motoyasu. Naofumi. At that time, I was swallowed by an uncontrollable rage. I can't imagine what would have happened if Raphatalia hadn't been there to restrain me. Isn't it written in the help? That shield requires quite a high price. I wonder if you would be able to control it. By the way, all of my stats besides defense have been halved since I used that skill on the Pope. Naofumi. Ren's eyes look like they are going through the help. And as expected, he says. There's no such item in here. Ren. No, it's written in mine. Well, only after I unlocked the Shield of Rage. Maybe it only appears after you have unlocked it. Naofumi. Did your net games contain such potent cursed items? Ren. Nope, it also did not shields that need compensation to work. Motoyasu. If you're going to lie, you need to make it more believable, like Motoyasu and Ren. Itsuki. Itsuki's comment pushes Ren to the limit. He stands up, points at Itsuki and says. You're one to talk, you compulsive liar. Ren. What? Aren't you the one constantly putting up a cool facade? Itsuki. Yeah. Motoyasu. And you're a skirt-chasing idiot. Do you plan to self-destruct defending another woman? Both Ren and Itsuki. What you say? Motoyasu. And Itsuki, his shield may absorb things, but you have your meat shield to do that for you. Ren. They are absolutely necessary. Itsuki. And you, do you plan to act like this is a game, and play hero? Death is the end. If death isn't absolute, then why did you people pursue me when I had that death warrant? Naofumi. I don't believe it's a game to that extent. I thought that only heroes could kill other heroes. That I would be able to kill you since you became a demon lord. Itsuki. What a convenient brain you've got there. Are you sure you haven't played too many games that your brain is rotten? You might have thought it was a game event, but what you were trying to do was simple murder. Naofumi. The you that came under suspicion is at fault. And I didn't believe it was an event. Itsuki. Right. It's fine if you see this as an event, but you see us as nothing but villains. Ren. Ren. Do you plan on saying more? Do you plan on having it out with this hypocrite Itsuki more? Who do you think you are? This world's savior? If God has sent you to punish me, then I want to go and kill that God. Itsuki. If this world had a God, I want to smack the hell out of him. He dropped me into this living hell. Don't outsource for heroes. What are you saying to the God who made this wonderful world? Motoyasu. I won't offer my thanks to someone with such a dubious existence. Itsuki. From here to the end of the meeting, I don't really remember. What followed was a long stream of verbal abuse. Shadow tried to get the meeting back under control, but it was already way past the point of no return. The first one to get fed up and leave was Itsuki. Ren soon followed. Finally, Motoyasu drudged off. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 104, 1/4. Naofumi ugh. I groaned after the three of them left the meeting room. After calming down and thinking about it, I couldn't help but grimace. I'm thinking about all of the information drawn out of those guys. But, I have no idea how to judge what is the truth, and what is a lie. As I compile their claims on a memo, I groan again. It is common for us to absorb the dropped items from demons. Come to think of it, I forgot to explain the reason for dismantling the parts. Well, they should be able to understand this much. Next is weapon copy. It seems this is where the differences in the games those guys played starts. When a weapon is already found from the same system, it becomes possible to equip that weapon after unsealing it. Besides compounding, the weapon can also act as a proxy for other creation skills. All of their claims match up until here. Let's come to a conclusion on the claims of their respective strengthening methods after seeing it myself. I don't know what each respective differences in characteristics their weapons have compared to my shield. There is no game that I can use as a model, not to mention it feels like I'm reading an unfinished book. Though they also took a stab at my shield's power to train companions. Ren. Level dependence. Proficiency, the more the same weapon is used, the more the power increases. Energy grant, hidden power can be unlocked by using energy granted from resetting the weapons. Skill proficiency. Additionally, items absorbed into the weapon can be converted into energy. Rarity increase, by using energy, it is possible to increase the weapon's rarity. Overall ability will improve. Motoyasu. Everything is decided by his weapon. The weapon's original strength doesn't matter much. Everything relies on spirit and chance. The necessary stats are needed to wield though. Tempering, equipment can be strengthened with the use of ore. Spirit enchant, by giving a weapon the fragment of a demon's soul to absorb, special powers can be granted. Status enchant, stats can be increased. Itsuki. Everything is decided by bonuses granted by a weapon's rarity. Reinforcing, a weapon's power can increase by using a specific type of ore. Item enchant, items absorbed into the weapon provides energy that has a chance to increase the weapon's attack percentage. Job level, stats can be boosted up by absorbing items acquired from specific demons. TL note, doping, I couldn't really find a way to fit this into the sentence without it sounding weird. Example, stats can be doped up by absorbing, this makes me cringe for some reason. Something like this. It's falling apart splendidly. There's energy for reinforcement, tempering, skill proficiency, and rarity is also covered. There's also as many as 3 enchantment systems. In the first place, all 3 of them are from worlds where games are common, but each one of them is operating with a different game in mind. Moreover, even the genres are different. VRMO, ordinary MMO, and console games. I don't know VR well, but MMOs and console games can't possibly have the same system, due to bad experiences with fan games. For some reason or another, there was a similar system used in my old world. If I think about it like that, I can say that their insistence of knowledge on other games is a lie. But, is that really the case? I turn my eyes to the shield. I think that the influence of previous owners has left the legendary weapons with these results. I mean, that would explain the curse series. The series couldn't be found when I looked through the skill tree before, it only appeared at the time. I thought Fyro died. I see. It's influenced by the heart. It may not have appeared if I denied it from the beginning. Weapon copy. Since all three of them agreed to it, it's not a lie. The drops were the same. However, I did not understand it. I open the weapon icon to investigate. Of course it's still not there. Is it in a completely different category? Is the system structure different from those guys? Legendary shield. Negative. Of course. I denied it somewhere within my heart. Perhaps, is that why I can't do the things that those guys can do? If I look at it from a purely objective standpoint, my field of view should widen, right? There are drops. There is copying. I recall those three at the same time. It's not impossible. Believe it. Believe in it. Imagine the screen with the drop list that pops up when a demon is defeated. I press the system menu on the shield. The menu opens with a ring. A window appeared with parts of dismantled demons, and other items that were absorbed pop up. Naofumi, what the hell is this? It seems the power of believing exists. Didn't me being cautious and skeptical narrow down my own possibilities? Somehow, when I press the item menu, I can open it and verify what the monsters dropped. Ah, a plant that can be used for magic power water came out. The materials for soul healing water also appeared. Various things just appear. It would be amazing if everything was pulled out. Beside that, there's a considerable amount of garbage. There are some demon entrails too. I turn my attention to Utsuki's ore. That guy really purchased that ore. He even explained how to use it. I can't help but try to believe it. It exists. He was even angry to that extent. He shouldn't have told a lie. However, nothing's shown up. I am denying this somewhere. I just don't believe that a liar will tell the truth. Is the power of my trust not enough? Feels like an anime for children. However, I'll still believe it. Shadow, hero of the shield Dano. Shadow speaks to get my attention. But I decided that in order to preserve my life, I started a glaring contest with the shield. Is it acceptable that you were deceived? You legendary shield. Believing helps. I will absolutely never lose. Believe it. Itsuki's reinforcing happened. There is also item enchant. Otherwise, we are only slightly stronger than the usual adventurers. I believed in the idea, and pressed the icon on the shield. Zaza, the icon distorted, but only for an instant. The next moment, with a ding, an item for reinforcement appeared. Naofumi, alright. I let the shield absorb the ore I got from Rishia, and let the shield search for the corresponding request. Found it. Shark Bite Shield 1/20th. Ability unsealed. Equipment bonus, onboard combat skills 1. Special effect, Shark's Fang. To experiment, I reinforced the Shark Bite Shield. I see, looks like reinforcing is easy, with the number 20 appearing next to it. This enhancement method is somewhat similar to a game in my world called Monster Hunter. I mean, since there is a number in place, I can avoid jumping to conclusions. I did not suffer so far without reason. There are many who use a shield and move sluggishly. It would be a bad habit to only use strong weapons. A combination of a shield and a one-handed sword is by far the strongest, with it being easy to move, and strong to defend. Though for convenience, in that game, the bow was exactly that. Perhaps it might be similar. Well, the difference would be magic since it didn't exist. Let's use the energy from an item that was absorbed before. There are a variety of effects. Oh! From the blue shark's intestines, I discover an aquatic monster damage mitigation skill. Let's try it out. The probability of the first try will absolutely succeed. Shark Bite Shield 1/20th. Ability unsealed. Equipment bonus, onboard combat skills 1. Special effect, Shark's Fang. Item enchant level 1, 2% damage reduction of aquatic monsters. Since there's still a little left, I'll try it again. Ah, a failure. It became 0. But, I'll continue. I got it to level 2. Shark Bite Shield 1/20. Ability Unsealed. Equipment bonus, onboard combat skills 1. Special effect, Shark's Fang. Item enchant level 2, 3% damage reduction of aquatic monsters. While getting carried away and apply more, I stopped at 7. The success rate for 8 is rather low. Shark Bite Shield 1/20. Ability Unsealed. Equipment bonus, onboard combat skills 1. Special effect, Shark's Fang. Item enchant level 7, 16% damage reduction of aquatic monsters. This will be amazing when fighting against aquatic-type demons. At any rate, another gauge exists. I think Itsuki's word for it was job level. Let's try it out. Defense job level 1. Defense gauge 0/5. A large number of the internal organs from demons was absorbed, and the button was pressed repeatedly. It looks like after 1, the rate the gauge rises slows down. Defense gauge 5/5. Gauge up. Defense +1. Defense job level 2. And the defense gauge now displays 0/6. Furthermore, when I wanted to add another item, a cooldown time appeared. It seems it is necessary to increase it regularly. Quite long term. Though, it doesn't seem too ridiculous to gather. At any rate, the others probably didn't lie either. First of all is Ren. While praying as strongly as that time with Itsuki, I open a menu. I habitually use the Chimeric Viper Shield. Chimeric Viper Shield 0/30C. Ability Unsealed. Equipment bonus, skill change shield detoxification compounding. Improvement poison resistance, intermediate. Special effect, Snake's Fang, intermediate, hook. Proficiency, 100. Somehow, the stats have already risen enormously, but isn't it already increased by about 1.5 times? Its defensive power alone is formidable. It seems the maximum is 100. As I was playing around the menu with my finger. Would you like to reset skill proficiency? A system message popped up. I press yes with some hesitation. Then, the ability reverts back to the shield that I knew. 2000 skill energy acquired. I select the Chimeric Viper as the target. Ah, insufficient, the requirement is 4000. For the time being, I convert enough skill energy to upgrade. I hear the sound of something being filled. Chimeric Viper Shield, awakened, 0/30C. Ability Unsealed. Equipment bonus, skill change shield detoxification compounding. Improvement poison resistance, high. Special effect, Snake's Fang, high, long hook. Proficiency, 0. Its base ability went up considerably. What is this? Do I increase the rarity now? C is an abbreviation of common. As I thought, energy is still insufficient. Let's continue to convert and increase it. Challenge. Failure. Like I'd fail. Success. Chimeric Viper Shield, awakened, 0/30 UC. Ability Unsealed. Equipment bonus, skill change shield detoxification compounding. Improvement poison resistance, high. Special effect, Snake's Fang, high, long hook. Proficiency, 0. UC, uncommon. The ability has improved by about 1.2 times. After several more challenges, I managed to raise it up to R. With just that its ability went up considerably. The amount of increase is abnormal. The proficiency also increases, wait a minute. Furthermore, there is also Motoyasu's claim, I believe, and open the menu. I already believe all of it greedily. Shit, there isn't any ore that Motoyasu used for tempering. Let's test out Spirit Enchant. Since I gathered a large amount of demon soul fragments from magenta frogs on this island, let's use it. Chimeric Viper Shield, awakened, 0/30R. Ability Unsealed. Equipment bonus, skill change shield detoxification compounding. Improvement poison resistance, high. Special effect, Snake's Fang, high, long hook. Proficiency, 0. Magenta Frog Spirit, 16% damage reduction of poison monsters. Let's also try out Status Enchant. Do you use these materials? Oh, The results are random. The result, magical power was added. Chimeric Viper Shield, awakened, 0/30R. Ability unsealed. Equipment bonus, skill change shield detoxification compounding. Improvement poison resistance, high. Special effect, Snake's Fang, high, long hook. Proficiency, 0. Magenta Frog Spirit, 16% damage reduction of poison monsters. Status enchant, magic power plus 20. Huge. That amount of magical power is huge. Oh, I can reset. However, since the amount of materials I used isn't small, let's stop for now. The shield has become remarkably stronger than before. Though the stats are a little messy, it is still a plus for me. Though I was bewildered about Itsuki and Ren's similar description of rare and rarity. It wouldn't be wrong to remember it. Let's take the opportunity to check help. Naofumi. Sure enough, everything is added. This is good, I can even use the systems from old net games which I know. Naofumi. No matter how much I think or pray, I have no idea what to say to them. Since I already strengthened myself considerably already, any complaints won't be convincing. Anyway. Naofumi Shadow. Shadow what Dikojiru? Naofumi notify the other heroes. Tell them that everything said here was true. No one told a lie. Tell them that unless they truly believe each other, it won't work. To think that such a thing would happen. That reminds me, the Queen did say so before. The Pope's replica weapon only had 1/4 the power of the real thing. Due to the results here, I can understand. No, that already exceeded the worst case scenario. If they stalled to put the replica in its original form, and wasn't outwitted, it would have been impossible. After I give advice to Shadow, I leave the meeting room and head back to mine. EAD The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 105, Weapon Copy. That day, I went back to the inn and tried feeding ingredients into my shield. An icon popped up. For now, I want to make a basic heal pill. To make one pill, the mix time is 5 minutes. It seems the required time increases based upon the level of the recipe. 5 minutes later. A chime sounded off, and the system message, mixing complete, appeared before my eyes. I confirm the result. Heal pill. Quality, normal. Did it come out as normal because the materials used were bad? No, the quality decreased too much. I'll try using better materials. Heal pill. Quality, normal. I ran some more tests, and it seems that the quality is stuck at normal. So even if all I have is poor materials, I will be able to make normal goods? This might be a good source of profit. And the shield can make medicine while I do other work. The quality might increase if I raise my level. Well, right now, the Queen is sponsoring my living costs, so I don't have to worry about money. Though. Master, what are you doing? Fyro. Fyro, hi. Naofumi. Yeah, Fyro. As I test a lot of things in the carriage, Fyro wanders over. At the inn, Fyro is usually either in the room, or in the carriage. If she has free time, she will come over to the carriage. Master, Fyro was about to kick the person who was doing strange things in Fyro's carriage, Fyro. TL, referring to Naofumi. This bird is saying some scary things. Well, I guess I can trust her to guard my merchandise at least. It seems that Fyro really treasures this carriage. Every morning, she comes and does maintenance on it. Normally, the iron carriage would rust in the sea air, but due to her daily maintenance, that doesn't seem to be an issue. It may be because we have taken a break from peddling, but the bird had a lot of free time. The carriage is way too clean. It's so polished that it is reflecting light like a mirror. The carriage itself seems to shine. For a filo real, the carriage is a precious item. If someone is messing around in it in the night, there is no surprise that she will come and check. By the way, though she can do maintenance, she cannot do repairs. Whenever something starts to look off, Fyro comes shouting to me to fix it. Is Master going to sleep in the carriage tonight? Let Fyro sleep with you. Fyro. Wrong, I'm just testing a few things. Naofumi. Fu-en, Fyro. I guess I should go to one of the weapon vendors on the island. Now that I think about it, it's already midnight. I guess tomorrow is fine too. After this, I will try reinforcing my equipment. I'll try modifying a normal shield. Welcome back. What happened? Did you have any progress? Raphatalia. When I returned to the room, Raphatalia asks this to me. I learned quite a bit. I still need to test a few things, so I will be busy tomorrow. Naofumi. That's good. Will we be making an honest effort to raise our levels starting tomorrow? Raphatalia. Well. I have to. I guess we could do that. Naofumi. I can get some monster drops as well. I'll look for some monsters that look like they will drop something useful. Please step back. Naofumi. Yes. Raphatalia. Raphatalia tilts her head and steps backwards. I had previously found a sword. I try to take it out of the shield. With a bang, the sword falls out of the shield and hits the floor. W.A. Raphatalia. Raphatalia lets out a sound of surprise. What is this? Raphatalia. It's something that a monster left behind. Naofumi. A monster was holding something like this. Raphatalia. Now then, Naofumi. The monster that dropped this was Brown Pill Rabbit. I analyze the item. Iron sword. Quality, normal. Well, it was a small fry. Raphatalia, your sword is starting to rust. Please use this for a while. Naofumi. Ah, yes. Thank you. Raphatalia. Picking up the mysterious sword, Raphatalia critically looks over it. Phiro starts to sniff it. It smells like pill rabbit, Phiro. Wow. She got it right. As expected of a Philo Real. Even though she looks like this, she is still a monster. Well, I guess tomorrow will be fun. I looked through my drops, set my shield to produce some random medicine, and went to sleep. The next morning. I wake up, eat a light breakfast and go off to look for a weapon store. They have them. A wide variety of shields. Can I look at this for a bit? Naofumi. Go ahead. Weapon dealer. The price is really high. Probably because this is a tourist attraction. Or because a lot of adventurers have been visiting as of late. On its off-season, I wonder how the islanders make money. Do they sell monster goods? There are some unusual ones here. I don't really want to imagine cooking with magenta frog meat. Does this island even have an active economy? I'll ask the accessory merchant later. Naofumi-sama. Raphatalia. Ah, Raphatalia, Phiro, please wait a bit. Naofumi. Okay, Raphatalia. What is master doing? Phiro. Just wait, you'll see. Naofumi. I take one of the shields hung on the wall and touch it to the legendary shield. Beep. An icon appears in my field of vision. Weapon copy activated. You have unlocked the iron shield. You have unlocked the red iron shield. You have unlocked the pink iron shield. You have unlocked the white iron shield. You have unlocked the brown iron shield. You have unlocked the blue iron shield. You have unlocked the sky blue iron shield. Etc. TL, looks like the hero can accessorize. I unlocked the iron shield, and all its color variations. Now that I think about it, my initial small shield did have color variation as well. At that time, I didn't really care, as it didn't unlock any extra stats. I question the usefulness of such a system. I wonder if the balloon shield also has such function. I have still yet to unlock that shield. The monster came in orange and red variety, there might also be a normal variety. Anyways, I repeat the process for the other shields in the shop. Round shield, buckler, knight shield, copper shield, bronze shield, steel shield, gold shield. There were also things like leather shield. It also seems that all the store's shields have color variation as well. The amount of shields I had greatly increased. I didn't feel like going through all the bonuses. They all probably only raised stats, so there shouldn't be too much of a problem. Some skills may have been mixed in, but going through all these shields will take time. I guess that's it. Naofumi. What? Shop vendor. The weapon dealer tilts his head and stares at me. Though the store's inventory wasn't the best, I still got a lot of shields. Once I finish leveling up here, I'll go see the old man at the weapon shop. He probably has a better Selection. TL, referring to Smith Bro. Have you found something that interests you? Store vendor. No, Naofumi. Now that I think of it, I got some useless weapons with the monster drops. I'll try to sell them. Please wait for a second. Naofumi. I go to a place where the vendor cannot see me and take out some weapons from the shield. Would you be interested in buying this item? Naofumi. Sure, can you let me appraise it? Vendor. I hand over the bronze spear I had taken out to the vendor. It seems to be quite solid. There also seems to be a minor enchantment on it, vendor. The dealer can see things that I can't. It doesn't appear to have an inscription, so the price will drop a bit. Is that okay with you? Vendor. Is there supposed to be an inscription? Naofumi. Now that I think of it, it makes sense. If someone famous made it, there should be a way of telling. Something like a signature. It's in good condition, so the price shouldn't drop too much. But where did you acquire this item? Vendor. That's a secret. Naofumi. If this person had been suspicious of me, I would have played it off by lying, but we haven't reached that level yet. So it's a weapon without a maker? Wait, if I look closer, there is something like an inscription on it. It looks like a shield. Vendor. Was there something like that? Some smith probably made it while thinking of the legendary heroes. Vendor. Things like that can happen. Naofumi. Yes, long ago, weapons like these popped up all the time. Even now, they sometimes come up. Many smiths admire the legendary heroes and inscribe their creations with their marks. Vendor. Then this mark won't really raise the price, will it? Naofumi. That would be correct. Though the quality is good, one who would put such a mark on their creations is simply a dreamer without a name. Vendor. The vendor's appraisal is a bit troubling. Well, an adventurer drawn to the magic of the awakened islands will probably buy it. I'll take it for 20 silver coins. Vendor. Understood, Naofumi. I give some other items to the weapons vendor. My total profit is 90 silver coins. If I had discovered the drop system earlier, I could have probably improved Rafatalia's equipment early on. But there's nothing I can do about that now. After I left the weapons shop, I changed my shield to an iron shield and look at the equipment bonuses. Ah, it seems the iron shield comes with a skill. Iron Shield 0/10C. Ability. Equipment bonus, Shield Bash. Skill Proficiency 0. This is obviously an offensive skill. I can't wait to see it in action. That shield looks like the one that was being sold at the store, but Rafathalia. Ah, the legendary weapons can copy the abilities of weapons sold at the store. That way, if a hero finds a good weapon, he will actually be able to equip it. Naofumi. That seems a bit like stealing. Rafathalia. It's not like I'm taking the item, I'm just making a copy of it. And what am I supposed to tell the store vendors? Naofumi. Yeah, Rafathalia. Well, I also have complicated feelings about it. Is this like pirating games and manga online? It's like bootlegging a movie at the theater to watch later. TL, no Moa. It's a crime, isn't it? Yeah, it is. But this is an alternate world. Mine didn't have anyone with legendary weapons. And in this world, the one who gets fooled is at fault. I won't complain about it, and I won't avoid doing it. I mean, the other three are doing it as well. I do feel like I'm doing something bad, but I have to get used to it. I think the old man will happily let me copy his shields if I ask. I think the other heroes probably stopped at his shop and copied all his weapons first. I'll have him make more equipment for Rafathalia as compensation. Next, let's go to the marketplace. Naofumi. I'll see if they are selling any of the enchantment gems that Motoyasu and Itsuki were talking about. I wonder how much they will cost. The result, very few people actually sold them. They mostly only carried the gem I had already got from Rishia. Its name was the Prani Ore. I had already cleared the conditions to unlock the Prani Shield when I tried the weapon enhancement technique Itsuki had talked about. It gave +1 defense. Unfortunately, it seems that my Chimera Viper Shield requires a different ore. When I checked the help screen later, the required information had appeared. About reinforcing. You can reinforce an item up to the denominating number, which has a minimum of 5. However, to strengthen stronger items, you will need more valuable items as ingredients. TL, i.e., if a shield says 1/20th, reinforcing will take it to 2/20ths, and 20/20ths is the maximum. And these ingredients seem to only be made by people with high steel working skills. But with my skills, it seems that I am able to extract prawny ore by myself. Originally, prawny ore is a soft, cheap, malleable metal that is used to increase the volume of gold products. It made something like gold alloy. If too much prawny was added, the value would decrease. It seems Itsuki was able to feed it to his bout to produce other valuable ingredients. I will probably have to learn some metal working skills. That way, I could mold the items sold by stores into more valuable materials. Then, should we go hunting? Naofumi. Yes, Raphatalia. Yet, Fyro. We'll finally be able to do some honest-to-goodness level grinding. And I can see the effects of my new shields. My expectations are quite high. Now then, go quickly. Your body's still in good condition, isn't it? Achoo. Mother. I can do it, relax. Naofumi. I hear a familiar voice from the marketplace. But I won't turn around. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 106, Days on Kalmyra Island. For the time being, we are traveling by ship. It seems Fyro has completely mastered swimming. When she swims she looks like a penguin. Fyro master. While floating in the water, Fyro grabs onto the reins for the boat that I am holding. I have a very bad feeling about this. Fyro, let Fyro ferry the boat. Naofumiha. While sitting on the boat with one hand on the oars, I think about the request. Well, I understand what she is trying to do. Naofumi, Raphtalia, you don't seem to be vomiting. Raphtalia, I am fine on boats. That's a relief. I nod and strongly shake the reins. Fyro, go. Fyro gallantly swims forwards while pulling the boat at high speeds. Raphtalia wawayaa. As we were being ferried, a funny voice was heard. Well, it is normal to be surprised. Raphtalia, it's just like a foreign Defy ship. What's that? If I remember correctly, a Defy is a demon that resembles a dolphin. I can somehow imagine that. Ships being pulled across the sea by large quantities of Defy, I imagine it to be such a place. We are being very efficient, since Fyro is able to do it herself. Or rather, does Fyro even know where she is heading towards? In more ways than one. Fyro, where is the island? Raphtalia, over there. After confirming where the island Fyro is supposed to ferry us to, she changes the direction she is swimming in. This fellow sure adapts quickly. Fyro master, next time we play, dive with Fyro to the bottom of the sea, it's very beautiful. Naofumi, I'll suffocate. How long and how fast can you dive for in the sea? I would hate it. Coming to a different world, and drowning while playing in the sea. Fyro Oni-chan can dive for a long time, she won't lose to Fyro. Naofumi, really? Raphtalia, why yet? Diving is my forte. Well, if she couldn't swim, her parents would not have pushed her into the sea, away from the demons when the wave happened. Raphtalia, shall I fetch some seafood for later? Naofumi, that's fine. But it always comes out at the hotel. Raphtalia, that seems be the case. I'm getting slightly tired of seafood. Well, the dishes here are mostly in Munier style, there is an absence of sashimi. Note, Munier, rolled lightly in flour and sautéed in butter. Raphtalia, is it safe to eat it raw? Naofumi, no. Fyro, is it delicious? Naofumi, let's feed it to Fyro and see. The problem with feeding it to Fyro is that there is still the possibility that it isn't safe for us. Naofumi, next time I'll make some food from my world. Fyro, yay. Raphtalia, I'm looking forward to it. Naofumi, though it'll probably be from the east. A cookbook would be something I would like to search for soon. Incidentally, it also seems that my shield has a cooking skill. And so, while chatting idly, we arrived at today's destination surprisingly swiftly. Well, we were able to see it from the start, it barely took us any time at all to get here. Naofumi, that was surprising. While getting off the boat, my legs were trembling, and I am having trouble standing. Knowing the ridiculous speed that the boat traveled to its destination at is surprising. Pyro's speed is quite considerable. After arriving at the island, we comfortably move to the hunting grounds. As a result, the experience points that demons give are increasing every time. Of course that's excluding the Marika bracelet. If equipped, the experience increased even more. Anyway, for the time being, since Raphtalia is the lowest level, she equips the bracelet first. Raphtalia, it's been a while since I hunted demons with Naofumi-sama. Naofumi, now that I think about it, that's right. Due to one thing or the other, from the fight against the Pope all the way to Kalmyra Island, the only fighting that was done was from Pyro. Though I don't think it has been that long either. I mean, when we were living as fugitives we had to hunt demons in order to procure food. Naofumi, from now on let's level up together at this Kalmyra archipelago. Do your best. Raphtalia, okay. Pyro, okay. As we chatted and worked on raising our levels, we noticed that there were more people on Kalmyra Island than the day before. As expected, the adventurers don't really head towards the center of the island much. Well, usually the upper limit for them is level 40. Unless they are a chosen adventurer, it would be dangerous. Though that might not be the reason I rarely met them. Just that, how should I say it, those who are overly greedy will turn into bone. I am reminded of the law survival of the fittest. How many adventurers have died on this island? I refrain from questioning it too much since they aren't in the same class as us. Raphtalia T. Pyro Taaa. Demons are cut apart in a single one of Raphthalia's sword strikes, and the demons that are kicked by Pyro resemble meat paste. Correction, Raphtalia and Pyro still have quite a lot to spare. Furthermore, since I was strengthened, I can efficiently and safely defend against large numbers of demons. Oh right, there is that shield bash. Naofumi shield bash. I set my sights on an enemy, chant the skill to hit with my shield. Therefore, the demon was hit by the shield. I watch as the yellow beetle is smashed, and I hear a nice smack. Though, it didn't seem to do very much damage. However, its movement stopped. It seems to have been stunned for about 3 seconds. This is a skill that inflicts an abnormal state called stun or confusion. Though it's still a problem that I can't do any damage. Pyro bug. Some munching sounds resounded. During the opening that the yellow beetle shone when its movement stopped, it was pitifully finished off with Pyro eating it. Cooldown time is 5 seconds. It is easy to use. Doesn't cost much SP either. Full note, what? 3-second stun on a 5-second cooldown that doesn't cost much SP? Can somebody yell, NERF? As we approach the center of the island, the demons increase in levels, and Raphtalia was struggling slightly. Naofumi, are you alright? Raphtalia, there are no problems. Pyro, this is nothing. Well, by struggling I meant, instead of needing 1 attack, now it's 2. So, at the center of today's island, we encountered a karma dog familiar. Similar to a circular orb, a big dog with a pitch black body, had wings growing out from some magic lens object from its back. This breed of dog, similar to a golden retriever? It's an indescribably deformed demon. However, it doesn't change that this is still a brutal demon. I confirm the displayed name as Karma Dog. Is it the boss of this island? I can't imagine the guy that summoned something like this Karma Dog familiar as his familiar. Naofumi Tsuvate Aura. I use support magic on Raphtalia and Pyro who challenge the Karma Dog. The Karma Dog tries to attack me by biting me with its enormous fangs. Naofumi humph. The Karma Dog clamps down on my hand with its mouth, as I try to hold it down. With a loud clang, I stop the movements of the Karma Dog. Naofumi Shield Bash. I use 1 strike of Shield Bash on the Karma Dog. If Raphtalia and Pyro can take advantage of this opening it would be good. And, contrary to what I thought, the Karma Dog wasn't showing any effects from the abnormal state. Does it have a resistance? For just a moment, I felt the power of its bite weaken, but it seems to be recovering quickly. Its movements are fast though, but thanks to me holding it down, we can fight it safely. After defeating it, we are able to catch up since the experience gained is considerable. And so our everyday life on the island continued as such. The next day we defeated a karma squirrel. Of course, it included the familiar. During yesterday night I checked the skills included in the shields that I obtained. It was quite fortunate that I got a skill called Hidden Reaction that informed me of any hostilities from demons. I used it in the beginning in the hunting grounds. Naofumi Hidden Reaction. I tilt my neck, puzzled, as nothing happened. Then Pyro blinks several times. Pyro Master, there's a strange feeling of something flying around everywhere. It was brought to my attention. At first I didn't understand what happened, but I immediately thought about it. It was due to the swarm of demons aiming at me. Of course, it included the ones that other adventurers that were fighting. The effective range is about 15 meters. As expected, I had to return their demons and apologize to the other adventurers for troubling them. During that time it came to light that I was the hero of the shield. I had no intention of hiding it, but there are some obstinate guys that have a problem with me. Still, Hidden Reaction has no effect on demons that are above a certain level of intelligence. Similarly we defeated a karma rabbit, and I absorb it into the shield. It had a charm that was considered a good rare item. Of course, when a demon is defeated it will be dismantled before absorbing. I wonder what principle they appear on? It's quite likely that it could be from the dimensional crack. And then, an ore called Oracle Ore dropped. After confirming the ore, it seems to be one of the necessary materials used to reinforce a weapon. Therefore I started gathering it. Since a weapon called Karma Dog Claw dropped, I took it out and gave it to Pyro to equip. But its size didn't fit. We were fighting against Karma Dogs for a while, and a larger sized one dropped, so we finished without trouble. Though the size is all over the place, can't anything be done about it? Pyro Master, this claw is ominous. Naofumi, don't worry about it. It's probably not particularly cursed. Pyro though when kicking, some black stuff sprays out and the demons become unappetizing. The enemies before were more tender. I wonder if it's because the weapon has a darkness attribute. Do you want a different weapon to make your food with? Naofumi, how about you, Raphtalia? A Karma Rabbit sword dropped from a Karma Rabbit for Raphtalia. Raphtalia, for some reason my body has become very light, it is very peculiar. Before coming to a different world, using weapons dropped from bosses would be very exciting, but for some reason it doesn't seem so good. I should probably ask the old man at the weapon shop to make weapons from the materials from the Karma bosses. Well, it should be fine since the offensive power is good. Though the bad point is that it doesn't have blood clean coating, so the weapon won't last a long time. While staying at the hotel, I can make my shield a whetstone, and there are also a lot of other shields to go through. Let's give priority to that. I should take the weapon to the old man for the coating. It is necessary to prepare for the next wave too. It would be best for it to pass anticlimatically. As our levels rise steadily, a sense of impending crises also rises. For the time being, to combat the anxiety, I will continue to collect shields from new demons and open up more possibilities to deal with any problems. I cannot do anything without being careful. Well, should I check out the area where unknown demons inhabit after the wave? I have the Queen's funding, so gold should be no problem. Anyway, including Raphtalia and Pyro, we started strengthening ourselves. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 107, Kalmyra Island End. The next day, I defeat a boss called Karma Penguin and check the drops. Penguin plushie? What the hell is this? I take it out of inventory. What is this? Naofumi. It looks like a stuffed animal. Raphtalia. It's wearing sleeping clothes, Naofumi. It's a penguin plushie in a Santa suit. It seems familiar for some reason. For argument's sake, I check its status. Penguin plushie. Defense up, impact resistance, small. Water resistance, large. Dark resistance, small. HP restoration, weak. Magic amplify, medium. Autonomous repair. Increased swim time. Size correction. Skill correction, small. Race change, monster, when equipped. It has quite a few useful abilities. Its basic stats don't even lose to my barbarian armor +1. Increased swim time, but I don't plan on swimming anytime soon. It seems to be some sort of legendary equipment. Raphatalia, please wear dash, Naofumi. No. There's no way I can fight while wearing that. Raphatalia. As I thought. I also refuse to wear this. Then Phiro, wants to wear it, Phiro. How are you going to wear it? Don't you hate clothes? Naofumi. It seems fun. Phiro. And the second Phiro grasped the doll, it increased in size. Is that what they meant by size correction? How useful. Phiro will wear it. Phiro. Phiro says as she equips the penguin. Phiro now completely looks like a penguin. A Santa bag also appeared for some reason. Wah! Don't those clothes look a little stiff? Naofumi. Do they? Raphatalia. Ah, I can't put any power behind my attacks. Phiro. Then take it off. Naofumi. Was that the effect of race change? As her race changed to something besides Philo Real, she no longer received any bonuses from my Philo Real Shield series. It doesn't seem we can use this. Phiro wants to wear it to sleep, Phiro. Well, I guess that works. Naofumi. It does look like something you would sleep in. Or Naofumi-sama could let me wear his armor, and then wear this. The stats won't be wasted. Raphatalia. Raphatalia, you want me to fight in this? Naofumi. Well, if you just look at stats, this is most efficient. It is better equipment than my barbarian armor. Because of my shield, my equipment isn't taking any damage, but Raphatalia's equipment needs to be repaired. TL, if Raphatalia wears it, she should get additional bonuses from Demon Tamer Shield. Fine. Naofumi. Then we'll decide by lottery who wears it. According to Phiro, it is hard to move in. Raphatalia. I understand. Naofumi. For some reason, it seems we both just don't want to wear it due to appearance. The result. Master looks so cute. Phiro. Damn. I'm taking it off when we get to the inn. Naofumi. I can't let the other adventurers see me like this. Just as Phiro's shape had changed, I now look like a penguin. I look like a stuffed animal. But as I say that, Raphatalia's defense greatly increased upon donning my barbarian armor, and we had no problems hunting the other Karma Penguin Familia and Karma Penguin. I can't let the other heroes see me wearing this. But my face has also changed, so as long as I hide my shield no one should find out. By the way, did you dismantle the monsters? Raphatalia. Oh, right. Naofumi. I was so focused on drops that I forgot to dismantle and absorb the monsters. For now, I dismantle and absorb the Karma Penguin we just defeated. Now then, what should we do about the others? Phiro begins running around eating the fallen penguins raw. It's not a sight for children. Don't eat too many. Naofumi. Starting a fire is a pain. When we get to the inn, food will be ready, so I don't feel like cooking. Yes, Phiro. For the love of. Now then, I turn my back to the desolate field of penguin carcasses. Karma Penguin. Paku. Did you just hear a strange sound? Naofumi. Yes, I wonder what it was, Raphatalia. Phiro didn't notice, Phiro. Nom nom, Phiro answers while engrossed in eating penguin meat. I thought it had come from Phiro's direction, but was it my imagination? Naofumi. Maybe a nearby Karma Penguin familiar had cried out. It did sound like that. Gafo, Phiro. Phiro, please eat in moderation. Naofumi. Yes. Phiro. That day, we were able to level without a problem. 'Twas a bit anticlimactic. Maybe because of the things we have been experiencing until now. But for level grinding to be this easy, I can see why the others still see this as a game. It was a day like that. Oh yeah, it seems that I unlocked Karma Penguin Familia Shield and Karma Penguin Shield some time along the way. Karma Penguin Shield, awakened, 0/25C. Ability bonus. Equipment bonus. Diving level 2. Water resistance, small. Fishing level 3. Speckle status correction, medium. Special effect, diving time up. Weapon proficiency 0. Karma Penguin Familia Shield, awakened, 0/10C. Ability bonus. Equipment bonus. Diving level 1. Fishing level 2. Speckle status correction, small. Weapon proficiency 0. It seems like it comes with various abilities and status corrections as a bonus. However, shields like the Chimera Viper just came with high stats. I don't understand the system. And what is speckle supposed to mean? It doesn't give any explanation. It is then that the penguin plushie comes to mind. Wearing that item did give a lot of miscellaneous bonuses. Raphitalia, Neofumi. Why are you looking at me with those eyes? I'm definitely not wearing it. Raphitalia. I pull Raphitalia's name out of the cup we used for the lottery. Today is your turn. Neofumi. Phiro is. Well, I'm happy she was born as a Philo Real. By the way, this is something that we learned later, but if you wear this costume you can dive in the ocean for long periods of time. But that doesn't really matter right now. Later. Phiro has learned to move in penguin form without issue. It seems that she enjoys playing around in that form. Once again, a normal day of level grinding has passed. It is now the dusk of the last day. The EXP bonuses slowly subsided, and eventually disappeared altogether along with the red light. These days were quite useful. Neofumi. You're correct, Raphitalia. Raphitalia answers with a troubled face. Well, it's not like I don't understand. We're about to get on the boat set to return to the mainland. Though I had the initial advantage in levels, the result was me, level 73. Raphitalia, level 75. Phiro, level 74. We reached around the limit that the island could help us. I was told the bonus was not particularly helpful past level 80, and getting through the 70s was difficult. Motoyasu calls down to me from the boat. It seems you've gotten stronger. Isn't that nice? Motoyasu. Yet. Phiro. Phiro is currently floating next to the boat. It is still docked. Phiro, he wasn't talking to you, Neofumi. Phiro. Returning to subject, I am now 30 levels higher than when I got here. Motoyasu. Me too, but I expected a little bit more. Itsuki. There's nothing we can do about it. Ren. The monsters were just too weak. Motoyasu. Ah, well that is true. Itsuki. By the time we had reached level 70, the Karma series bosses were nothing but small fries. Phiro and Raphitalia's statuses have skyrocketed. I have tested new methods and found different ways to increase my stats. By the way, I still have many shields that are still sealed. We may have been able to increase our levels, but that does not necessarily mean we have gotten strong. I think Raphitalia and Phiro realize this too. It seems that level is a sort of magical property of an individual, and things like skill and intelligence are separate. I don't think I have the reaction speed or mentality to take on stronger opponents yet. This is an unfortunate side effect of grinding. In the net games I used to play, there were mountains of players who thought they were strong simply by leveling up in special events. They didn't realize that level and skill level are separate items. We should train to prevent that. Oya? Is it not the hero of the shield? Swindler. You. Neofumi. The swindling merchant calls out from a boat that is docked next to the one we are about to board. It seems to be some sort of cargo ship. Many boxes are stacked on it. Well, the awakening is now over, have you ended business? Neofumi. Ended business? Surely you jest. I am merely switching to another enterprise. Swindler. I see, Neofumi. What does he plan on doing? I have a bad feeling about this. It's a secret. I've been bound to secrecy. Swindler. The swindler cuts off explanations. It seems that the rumors of the EXP raising accessories he sold at Kalmyra have spread quite far. However, rumors being rumors, some information is lost over time. Though the accessory was supposed to only work on the islands, people are now saying that they work everywhere, and testimonies are already popping up. I think you should get out of the accessory industry. Neofumi. What are you saying? Miracle gem accessories are still flying off the shelves. Swindler. By the way, they supposedly have a property that makes them break easily. Once they have lost their effects, they shatter and the customer must purchase another. It seems I have started quite a dubious industry. I have some doubts. I'll work hard. See you again, hero of the shield. Swindler. It seems that his inventory has finished loading. His boat departs first. Well. There's nothing I can do about it now. Naofumi. All I did was give him some advice. The rest is up to him. Well, we should board our boat too. Naofumi. You're right. Raphatalia. Board. Phiro. And so, we boarded the boat and waited for it to depart. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 108, False Accusations, again. The other heroes seemed to have all boarded the ship. I was informed by Shadow as the ship departed. I am thinking about the future while watching the sun set over the sea. First of all, what are all the things that I need to ask the Queen when we get back to the castle town? Next, I need to go to the old man's place to prepare for the next wave. On that topic, should I ask the Queen for her materials? If there is time, it wouldn't be bad to go demon hunting ourselves for the materials. Afterwards, there is also that thing about completely tempering my shield. There is a limit to how many reinforcement materials I can get on the island. At night, I headed up to the deck after finishing dinner. I watch the sea and feel the evening wind. I found Phiro exercising by swimming after her meal. Just how obsessed are you with swimming right now? Teal note, my bumu. Apparently it means something that a person is currently obsessed with. I'll pretend I didn't see anything. Naofumi. I see Motoyasu at the corner of the deck. And I also discover Rishia there. Flirting again? That reminds me, Rishia was also included in Motoyasu's beautiful girl ranking. Just how much do you want to make a harem? Do you even know what Itsuki would say? For the time being, I'll warn him a bit. Naofumi, hey. Motoyasu, why don't you stop flirting here? Motoyasu, ah. If it isn't Naofumi. I beg you. Motoyasu seems to have a pale complexion and pushes Rishia to me by her shoulders. Naofumi, what's up with you? Motoyasu, it's fine. I'll leave it to you. What's the matter? To think that womanizer would entrust me with something. When I look at Rishia, she seems surprised. For some reason, her eyes are swollen up and bloodshot. Rishia was probably sitting down in that corner crying over and over. Naofumi, what's wrong? Motoyasu, then with this I'm done. Naofumi, wait. Surely you didn't, not on a ship. Did you fall so low as to commit a crime? Since she didn't obey, did you say, it's alright, it'll only hurt in the beginning, and rape Rishia? It does seem like a Motoyasu's modus operandi. That guy seems like he could nonchalantly steal someone else's lover. And so, it leads to her being so upset and crying. What a terrible sleazebag. I'll never let you escape. Motoyasu, that's not it. Naofumi, then prove it. Rishia mo Motoyasu-sama isn't responsible. Rishia muttered in a hoarse voice. Damn, was I just overthinking? As expected, even Motoyasu isn't rotten to this degree. Naofumi, then what happened? Motoyasu, there are certain circumstances. But I'm no good at dealing with it. Therefore I'll entrust it to you. After saying that while laughing, Motoyasu escaped back to his cabin while trembling after a large sigh. That's the first time I've seen such an expression on Motoyasu. Or perhaps, is that guy the type that is not good at dealing with women? Was it because of what type Rishia is? That guy's good luck looks a little weak. Phiro, what happened? Phiro noticed the situation and asked after returning to the deck. Rishia, please don't worry about it. Naofumi, I'm afraid I can't do that, I feel uneasy thinking you might have been raped by Motoyasu. Rishia, no, I just couldn't put up with it anymore. Naofumi, you couldn't put up with Motoyasu. Rishia, that's not it. Though still tearful, for a moment she looked slightly angry. Did she get a little vigor back? Rishia, Motoyasu-sama tried to cheer me up at first too, as I don't think I should talk about it. Naofumi, don't say something like that, you helped me once before, I am grateful. It was Rishia that taught me about the ore that Itsuki uses. If Rishia is troubled, I want to cooperate as much as possible. Rishia, no, really, please don't worry. After saying that, Rishia escaped by departing. Naofumi, what was that about? In the end, only unpleasant examples of what might have happened remains. Next morning, I was reading a book in the cabin while questioning Rishia's attitude last night. Naofumi, I'm worried after all. For some reason, this is something that by all rights I could ignore, but my heart is noisy. This feeling resembles the time when Melty was attacked by the guard and when I was falsely accused by bitch. I have a very bad feeling about this. Raphtalia, is something wrong? Naofumi, just a little. I can't relax, so I'll just go investigate something a little. Raphtalia, I see. I left the room as Raphtalia continued to do push ups. What on earth could have happened? I can't understand this by myself. I feel a little anxiety as I eavesdrop on Ituki's cabin. For some reason, happy voices could be heard. Am I overthinking too much? Rishia. Then I see Rishia, who is for some reason staring enviously at the cabin. When she noticed me, she ran away. What is wrong? Really? I might be able to discover the circumstances by questioning Motoyasu. With that reasoning, I knock on the door to Motoyasu's cabin. Woman 1, yes. Woman 1 opens the door. An amazing smile that I have never seen before was shown to me. This girl, she can make such a face. Is this an act to get along with bitch and woman 2? Frankly, it makes me sick. To have the ability to make such a face when she habitually has a deadpan expression. Women are scary. Woman 1, ah, it's you. If it's just you, then I can remove the mask. After a few seconds, her facial expression dampened tremendously, vented her anger for acting towards me. I absolutely cannot understand why she would be angry. Naofumi, is Motoyasu here? Bitch, is there a reason why I must tell you? Naofumi, he. Motoyasu. Bitch, don't ignore me. Woman 2, yeah yet. Woman 2 is taking advantage of the opportunity. I pretend that bitch isn't in my field of view and ignore her. I would rather not come here due to the trauma from before. This guy doesn't matter to me. Motoyasu, what's up with you? Naofumi, everyone here seems to hate you. Motoyasu talks to me while being sandwiched in a harem-like situation between bitch and woman 2. What an irritating pose. It would be impossible to ask about his position without being sarcastic. Naofumi, such a thing doesn't matter. I just want to ask about something. Motoyasu, what is it? Naofumi, the matter from last night. Something about entrusting me before you left. Motoyasu, I understand. However, after that I'll leave everything to you. Naofumi, leaving it to others, well fine. I'm acting on curiosity. I'll accept the risk that comes along with it. There is an idea forming in my mind, as that guy Motoyasu comes out of the cabin with a pale face, while telling his followers to stay. When we head up to the deck, he is still looking at me with a pale face. Motoyasu, about Rishia-chan's situation. Naofumi, yet. I can't get the reason why Rishia was crying from questioning her. So I'll ask Motoyasu about the circumstances, since I think he is kind to women. Motoyasu, to tell the truth. The situation was explained from Motoyasu's point of view. After hearing Motoyo's story, and realizing that my intuition was right, there was a lump in my throat. As anger surged up. Naofumi, Itsuki. I forcefully kicked down the door to Itsuki's room. The door opened with a loud bang, and everyone inside stared at me simultaneously. Itsuki, what is it? Armor hero of the shield, you bastard, what do you want? Naofumi, what do I want? Ask yourselves. You trashes. Due to my loud voice, the whole ship felt noisy. Itsuki in armor flinched momentarily due to my oppressive attitude. Itsuki was the first to recover and he raises his voice in anger as well. Itsuki, that's why I asked what the hell happened. Naofumi, do you seriously not understand yet? This is dangerous. If I keep this resentment smoldering in my heart, then the wrath shield will appear. If Ren comes, it would go on a rampage. Armor, I don't know what suspicions you have, hero of the shield. Armor tried to grab me. So I avoided Armor's arms and applied a joint locking technique. The rules of a legendary weapon, it is prohibited to have a weapon other than the exclusive weapon. SFX, Bashan asterisk, I received pain through my arm, but I ignore it. Am I prohibited from even doing a joint lock attack? Throwing was okay though, what's the difference? Armor, ouch. Oh ow ow. Naofumi, I came here to talk to Itsuki. Don't get in my way, you small fry. I thrust away armor, and glare at Itsuki. I haven't felt this anger in a long time. Since I calmed down a lot thanks to Raphtalia. I don't intend to suppress it now. Naofumi, you, for someone who has a habit of claiming justice, you know nothing. Itsuki, what are you? While angrily looking at Itsuki, I see that Rishia ran towards the commotion and is looking into the room. Itsuki, seriously, the reason I think you are so mad, is it that thing? Naofumi, so you do know. Itsuki, she is the bad one. Naofumi, don't joke around. The story that I heard from Motoyasu, it's the reason that Rishia was grieving that way. On the last day of activation, Rishia finished shopping for the day and returned to her companions. Itsuki, Rishia-san. Was it you? Rishia? What are you talking about? After Rishia returned, she tilted her neck to Itsuki's disappointed question. Itsuki, it's not used to pretend you don't know. You are the one that broke my accessory. After saying so, Itsuki brought out his cherished bracelet that was cruelly broken. Rishia? I have no idea. What is that? Itsuki, to think you would tell a lie like that, there is evidence. After saying so, Itsuki directs his gaze to his other companions. Armor, yes, we all saw it. Rishia broke the bracelet that Itsuki-sama cherished and hid it. No name, that's right. No name too, I saw it. Rishia? That's not it. I didn't do anything, I really didn't know. Rishia pleaded desperately. However, Itsuki doesn't believe it. Itsuki, so do I not believe in the eyewitness either, I can't be helped. I intended to forgive you if you apologized. Rishia-san, please leave the party starting today. Rishia, in no way. I really didn't know anything. At that moment, Rishia saw that Armor was chuckling faintly. However, Rishia at that moment was clinging to Itsuki and pleading to not be thrown away. Rishia, I beg you. Please. Let me stay near Itsuki-sama. Itsuki's eyes swim around and seem to be tormented with a little sense of guilt. Armor, it's not okay to permit it here, Itsuki-sama. No name, there is suspicion that Rishia leaked information to the other heroes. Armor argued with his companion backing him up. Itsuki, it's regrettable, but, farewell. Rishia, Itsuki-sama? I really beg you. Please reconsider, I'll do anything. At Rishia's tearful begging, Itsuki turned his back and didn't respond. Armor, how long are you going to provoke Itsuki-sama's pity? You liar. You don't have the qualifications to approach Itsuki-sama. Itsuki's companions forcibly expelled Rishia out. After that, even though she wanted to approach even a little, the results were the same. This was roughly the contents from Motoyasu's story on Rishia. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 109, The Reason for Rejection. Motoyasu relates Rishia's story to me with a pale face. At first I was curious as to why she were crying and got a little worried, so I called out to her, but sorry. I can't stand to see girls like this. Can I leave it to you, Motoyasu? I couldn't hear Motoyasu's words to the end. Now that I think about it, Motoyasu was killed and sent to this world due to his popularity. So he can't handle dark girls like this. Those girls that appear in Gouge, Yandere was it? Gouge, non-Eros dating sim. In my world, games with those types of girls existed as well. They became famous for their morbid bad endings. Listening to Rishia, who is getting close to being a stalker, might have awakened his trauma. But Motoyasu, that isn't the important part. From the story, it seems Rishia is innocent. It seems that a separate culprit has framed her. I hate false charges more than anything. There's no way I can let this be. So I go after Itsuki to abate my own rage. When I said there was no room for further questions, she went and tattled to the other heroes. Do you think that will make me take her back in? Itsuki. Rishia didn't tell me anything. She went to the womanizing Motoyasu. Naofumi. What I said was the truth. Rishia lied. It seems that she forgot the debt she had to me and tried to use me. The result is obvious. Itsuki. You have no doubts as to whether or not she is lying. Naofumi. You. Do you think I cannot trust the comrades I have built trust with for months? The newcomer. Rishia is the dubious one here. I will believe the words of my comrades. Itsuki. This person. He thinks I don't know anything, so he's spouting bull crap. I made sure to gather information before coming here. Did you think that I, who is used to false charges, would come here without evidence and act on feeling alone? Rishia isn't the culprit, and I have already figured out the culprit's identity. Well, my information mostly comes from Shadow, though. It seems that the culprit is another member of Itsuki's party. Shadow already told Itsuki about it, but Itsuki chose to trust his comrade's words over Shadow. Shadow even told me the contents of that conversation. I've come this far, it's time for me to go on the offensive. No matter what you say, there was a witness. And it's an unrelated person, there's no reason they would tell a lie. And it's weird in itself that your comrades didn't catch the culprit at the scene of the crime. Naofumi. For you to have investigated that far. There's no choice. It's all for her sake. The others are merely giving her what she deserved. They merely found that Rishia had been stained with the color of evil, and carried out the appropriate punishment. Itsuki. Wait, what are you talking about? Naofumi. Rishia called my party members villains and left the party. She cares not for her comrades. Itsuki. Naofumi. What is he saying? I can't keep up with his explanation. Could it be a conspiracy? An accusation in name only to get her to leave the party? And Rishia isn't suited for fighting. We all discussed and decided it would be best for her to return to her hometown and live in happiness. Itsuki. Yes, it was all for Rishia's sake. Armor. Armor comes in and confirms Itsuki's words, but I have no idea where this conversation is going. Doesn't that just mean that Rishia had a false crime placed on her for no reason? There's no way she can return home like this. And so, as far as Itsuki knows, the matter with Rishia was settled. But Rishia, who was left in the dark, was troubled. So Itsuki and his comrades put a crime on her to force her to leave. That is the real crime here. Cares not for her comrades? $H.T. They were just too used to dealing with villains that they treated her as one as well. This isn't a game. In a game you could just get her to leave the party with a press of a button. This guy played console games if I remember correctly. Does he think that party members are NPCs? I feel worn out and look in Rishia's direction. Even now, Rishia looks like she is about to cry. She is staring at Itsuki in silence. To be honest, in my party Rishia was the one who fit in the least. Instead of willingly rushing into dangerous situations, it is best to let her live in peace. Itsuki. You're just avoiding the main issue. How about her feelings? Naofumi. That isn't what I'm saying. A battle for the fate of the world cannot be won on feelings alone. Itsuki. Then why did you fire her without telling her anything? Naofumi. Then I will say it bluntly. She does not provide any useful manpower. I thought she would get stronger over time, but if she refuses to raise her skills, it's better for all of us if she just returned home. Itsuki. Ah. He said it. So he's just shifting the blame now, isn't he? Then why didn't you just outright tell her that? Were you afraid of becoming the villain? Naofumi. Of course not. Where are you getting these ideas? Itsuki. If you have to make her a scapegoat because he can't muster up the courage to tell her to leave, then it's the truth. Naofumi. But in regards to her ability, the road ahead will be difficult. We are swallowing our tears and wishing for her happiness. Itsuki. That's only you. What do you think other people's lives are? Naofumi. From what I can see, she has a high potential for magic. However, because of you, she forced herself to wield a sword and even classed up to aid your fighting style. And yet you're just going to abandon her like this. You then justified your actions by making up reasons. Damn it. She would have understood if you just told her. In the end, you just didn't want to become the villain. Isn't this the same as what happened to me? The end was decided before I could do anything. Itsuki seems to think this matter is already settled. This is a good opportunity. Rishia, I can't put up with you anymore. Frankly, you are weak. Itsuki. So he's finally become like this. In order to make sure his situation doesn't worsen, he has decided to say the truth. And because he sensed he was getting cornered, he decided to make Rishia out to be the bad guy. Where is your justice now? What self-righteousness, what hypocrisy! Even the swindler and the slave dealer are better than this. At least they understand that they are at fault. They are much better than a kid who acts on a whim and then labels his actions as justice. Rishia. Rishia tries to let out her voice in response to Itsuki's accusation. Rishia. Naofumi. She's just trying to get sympathy. Now leave, both of you. Itsuki. People like you, do you plan to put more charges on us? Naofumi. When did I ever place false charges on you? Itsuki. I won't let you act oblivious now. Remember when you ignored bitch's cheating and acted like I was the one at fault? And that time when you accused me of taking your funds? Naofumi. The matter with bitch had nothing to do with me. Itsuki. What do you mean nothing to do with me? How did your hero of justice spirit not go off there? Anyways, at this point in time, we cannot conclude that you did not take the funds. Itsuki. But haven't we already found the culprit? Naofumi. Wah. What nonsense are you spouting now? Itsuki. It seems you really don't know. Naofumi. Don't look at us like that. If you know the culprit, just say it. Itsuki. He seems to be genuinely curious right now. It's the three-hero church. Naofumi. Are you alright in the head? Itsuki. Itsuki, you're not actually very smart, are you? Naofumi. Goo dash. What makes you think that? Itsuki. I myself don't consider myself to be smart. I'm actually quite stupid. If I was smart, I wouldn't have been fooled by bitch. My grades were average and my parents gave up on my education. But if this person isn't the culprit, I think I can figure it out. The church had one, didn't it? A legendary weapon in the shape of a bow. Naofumi. Ah, Itsuki. So he finally noticed. He seems stunned. The church was fundamentally against us summoned heroes. They definitely had reason. And when he had accused me before, where had he been? Right in front of the church. They had probably fed him the info that I was the culprit. Now that I think about it, it was quite simple. That matter is irrelevant now. Itsuki. Itsuki, you, Naofumi. How selfish can this person get? Does he care not of the hearts of others? I can feel my anger rising. The blood is rising to my head. This feels like when bitch placed false crimes on me. No, it's different. This is. I see, I thought you were a troublesome person, but you had a strong sense of justice and you would make a good hero. But your value as a person was only this much? You've betrayed my expectations. I've had it with you. Naofumi, TL, how I felt a few chapters ago. I give him a cold stare and leave the room. I've heard something like this before. The opposite of love isn't hate. It is apathy. That means the opposite of hate is also apathy. To me, it looks like Itsuki has already lost interest. There's no point in getting mad at a person who no longer cares. You have no right to be telling me that. Please stay away from me from now on. Itsuki. Itsuki shouts at me as I leave. His voice is louder than I have ever heard it. Ah. I see. So this stems from his childish desire for praise. He hates it when people's opinions of him drop. It's no longer of my concern. I have no intentions of dealing with your tyranny anymore. I hope you don't break any more expectations. Naofumi. I'm telling you to get lost. Itsuki. I ignore Itsuki, who has drawn his bow. And walk away. This is the last time you can get so full of yourself. Itsuki. Like I care. His opinion of Rishia remains unchanged. It can't be. As I head towards side of the ship, I witness Phiro jumping out of the water. On one wing, she is carrying a drenched Rishia. This Oni-chan suddenly fell in. She was sinking, so Phiro helped her out. Phiro. Suicide, Naofumi. To be depressed to that extent. I can understand Motoyasu's dislike of this type of person a bit. Just because the person you like badmouths you, it doesn't mean you have to die. Good job Phiro. Naofumi. Yay, Phiro. I pat Phiro's head. If it hadn't been for Phiro, this story would have reached the worst possible ending. If that happened, I would have trouble sleeping at night. And there's something I have already decided. Now then, Rishia. Naofumi. Cough cough, Rishia. I pat Rishia, who is coughing up seawater, on the back and speak. Phiro of my party has just now saved your life. What will you do with that saved life? Naofumi. Let me die. Itsuki has abandoned me. There is no worth left in me living. Rishia. The person who decided that is none other than you. Naofumi. Then please let me decide my own death. Rishia. If you think that way, there's nothing I can do about it. But there is one thing I can't forgive. Naofumi. If I just let it end this way, my anger will never subside. Will you accept these false charges? Do you not want to get back at them? Naofumi. But I, Rishia. Don't you want to make Itsuki say, please come back, I need you? Naofumi. I knew I was weak from the beginning, Rishia. Who decided that a person has to stay weak forever? The only person who said that is Itsuki. All you have to do is get stronger. Naofumi. Back at the start, I too had been called weak and useless. The other heroes looked down on me. That's why I can't overlook this behavior. Really? Can I really become strong? Rishia. I promise you this. I'll definitely force Itsuki to acknowledge your strength. Naofumi. I'll make him regret ever abandoning her. That's why, Rishia. Until you find a way to get stronger on your own, I will help you. No, I'll make you strong. Naofumi. I'm merely acting on a grudge right now. Rishia resembles me too much. She was falsely accused, and looked down upon. So for her sake, and mine, I must make her stronger and let her get back at Itsuki. Join my party. Naofumi. Rishia reaches out for my hand. She hesitates for a bit, but finally grasps it. My heart still belongs to Itsuki, Rishia. I'm fine with that. I'm not asking you to believe in me. Believe in whatever you want to believe. And you should be fine. Naofumi. I'm not like Motoyasu. I'm not acting because Rishia is a woman. I just cannot forgive Itsuki for picking her up and throwing her away at his own convenience. I can also feel the similarities in our circumstances. And that's why I can say for sure. You will become strong no matter what. Naofumi. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 110, The Girl of Misfortune. Anyways, Rishia has become our comrade for now, but when I was walking back to my room, I was stopped by Raphatalia. Earlier I heard Naofumi-sama shouting, but what happened? Raphatalia. Don't worry about it. Itsuki just did something unbelievably infuriating. Naofumi. Who is the person behind you? Raphatalia. You, Rishia. I believe she was. Anyways, let's return to the room. We can talk then. Raphatalia. It seems that Raphatalia could read the situation to some extent. We return to the room and I explain the circumstances to Raphatalia. I also conduct introductions and say that she will be a comrade from now on. For obvious reasons, Raphatalia listened with a face composed half of amazement and half of anger. That person is, Raphatalia. You please don't say bad things about Itsuki. Rishia. Even after going through that, you will still defend him, Raphatalia. Raphatalia seems quite surprised. I feel the same. If Phiro hadn't been there, she would have been dead. Naofumi. Praise Phiro more. Phiro. Yes, yes. But I just praised you earlier. Naofumi. Phiro. Looking for more praise, Phiro turns into her human form and forcibly puts my hand on top of her head. This sensation is. The Ahog is annoying. Itsuki isn't at fault. It's all because I am weak. Rishia. Raphatalia grabs Rishia's hand. Rishia looks like she is going to cry again. I understand. He is important to you, right? Raphatalia. Yes, Rishia. I think I can understand. Let's work hard together. Raphatalia. Is Raphatalia like that too? Okay, I will do my best. Rishia. Is it just my imagination or is there a strange aura directed at me? Well, as long as they get along. It's 100 times better than forming an antagonistic relationship. Rishia, you will be traveling with us as a comrade. Please think of a way to make yourself stronger. As you do that, Naofumi. Do your best. Raphatalia. Oh yes, and stalking Itsuki is henceforth banned. Naofumi. I understand. Rishia. We'll only be on the ship for a few more hours, so you should be able to handle it. Naofumi. It will be bad if she develops a stalking habit. It's probably better for her to keep her distance for now. I'll make an effort. Rishia. Also. Itsuki probably won't do anything, but for your sake I think you should avoid meeting him. Face to face. Naofumi. Time will probably heal these wounds. I also try to avoid him. Dealing with him is a pain. If I need to ask him anything, I'll use Shadow. Shadow, Naofumi. I call Shadow. And it appears immediately. Where is this person watching us from usually? But besides me, Shadow seems to observe the actions of the other heroes as well. What is it, Gojiru? Shadow. What are the other heroes planning to do? Oh, and is there anything my party has to do? The sword and bow will start on missions when we reach the mainland, Gojiru. I have been told to take the shield and spear to the castle when the boat docks, Gojiru. Shadow. Fumu, Naofumi. So Ren and Itsuki already have jobs to do, and me and Motoyasu have to go to the castle. That's fine by me. I have to ask the queen something anyways. Does Motoyasu have anything to do at the castle? Ah, bitch's punishment. Well, as long as we head off after Itsuki departs there shouldn't be a problem. Now then, what should we have Rishia do? Naofumi. Hi dash. Rishia. What's with that voice? I won't give you an impossible job. Naofumi. She did all the odd jobs at Itsuki's place. Does she think I will do the same? I just wanted to confirm party roles. I hunted with Itsuki's party for 2 days. I know her specialties. Rishia's specialty is being a jack of all trades. CQC, attack magic, healing, support. Having someone who can perform all of these will truly benefit my party. The front line has Raphatalia and Phiro, so that aspect is probably fine. Should I assign her to the currently vacant magician position? She can use all types of magic and is quite resourceful, so there shouldn't be a problem. Level and status aren't everything. If you use your head, you can achieve results past your stats. This is perfect. I give out the party roles. I assign myself to defense, healing. The support role. There's no point if I switch now. Raphatalia is the vanguard. In battle, she is weaker than Phiro, but against skilled opponents she can use illusion magic to gain the upper hand. Phiro is on offense. She has high basic attack and speed. She can also use ranged magic. Her specialty is crowd clearing. And I have to make a new position for Rishia considering her strengths. I begin the explanation to Rishia, who seems to be afraid. Don't worry Rishia, Naofumi may be sharp-tongued, but he's not as bad as you would think. Raphatalia. I'd like to ask this once, but why are you two suddenly so close? Naofumi. What do you mean not as bad as you would think? Well, I am used to dealing with dangerous people like the slave dealer and the accessory merchant. That is, Rishia. Rishia looks in my direction but stays silent. What is she looking at? Are you wondering what my position in battle is? Naofumi. No, Rishia. Don't say no. I'll gladly tell you. Naofumi. He's this sort of person. Raphatalia. I see, Rishia. For some reason, Rishia is no longer afraid. I don't understand women. Why are women so complicated? In Gouge, it was so simple. Now that I think about it, Naofumi. I stare at Rishia from head to toe. Her equipment is quite sub-par. It must be because of the hierarchy. The higher members get all of the good equipment. To be useful, she must first have good equipment. To have good equipment, she must prove to be useful. This vicious spiral made it so that only her level rose and her equipment stayed the same. Rishia, what is your level? Naofumi. I'm level 68. Rishia. She answered quite simply. I can't check her status, but she will probably be a helpful asset. Rishia's base specialty is magical attack and healing. If I leave these to her, our party should become more diverse. But I am worried about my own defensive capability. Raphatalia and Phiro are quite tough. I don't need to worry about protecting them to that great of an extent. At 68, her defense will probably be behind the other two. I also have to worry about the abilities she has that Itsuki never bothered to train. I feel bad about it, but for now, to make up for the difference in stats, you will have to wear this. Naofumi. I hand the penguin plushie to Rishia. It's really durable and outranks Raphatalia's and my armor in stats. Naofumi. That is, Raphatalia. There's no choice. This is currently the best armor in our possession. Naofumi. All of the other excess equipment I have right now is around the same level as Rishia's current gear. By the way, I currently have 3 of the penguin suits in my possession. We hunted way too many of those things. But we didn't get any other plus highs from the rest of the Karma series. Ah, this is, Rishia. What's wrong? Naofumi. Itsuki also had something like this. It was a squirrel plushie. Rishia. He dash. So did he wear it too? Naofumi. He said it was powerful equipment and asked if anyone wanted to wear it. But everyone rejected it. Rishia. So you ended up wearing it? Naofumi. Of course, Rishia. What do you mean of course? Don't accept it so easily. She really is too positive. That was definitely a form of bullying, and yet she can simply laugh about it. It was wonderful equipment. But when I took it off, my comrades took it. Rishia. What sort of equipment was it? Naofumi. When I wore it, I got a lot of bonuses, and fighting became easy. Rishia. Well, the enchantment on it is quite powerful, Naofumi. The squirrel suit probably also had magic amplify as an ability. It has a good compatibility with Rishia. But it also stands out in another way. Itsuki is skilled at hiding, so I think he can wear it just fine. Once we get off the boat, you can take it off. Naofumi. You want me to take it off? Rishia. For some reason, Rishia stares at me with a troubled face. What is with this reaction? Are you bothered? Naofumi. It's good equipment, and if I wear it, no one will be able to notice if I am sad. Rishia. That is the logic of a loser. She is acting like a bullied child. Are you really okay with that? Naofumi. Yes. Rishia. Yes. Really? This will be difficult. It will probably work out fine, but if her heart doesn't get stronger, then getting stronger will be difficult. Saying no one will notice her crying if she wears the suit. You can wear that at the beginning, but you eventually have to graduate from it. Naofumi. Sigh, Raphatalia. Raphatalia has a complicated expression. Does she have a problem with Rishia's behavior? I don't think their compatibility is bad, but I can't judge yet. Anyways, let's get stronger one step at a time. Raphatalia. Yes. Rishia. Only her response is high-spirited. I feel she will get along well with Ren's people. And so Rishia puts on the penguin plushie. How do I look? Dude, TL, please help me. I have no idea what sound a penguin makes. Ah. It's fitting. Naofumi. It makes her stand out quite a bit. I remember the me that was there before I came to this world. It seems that there are now 2 people who will happily wear this costume, including Phiro. As a hero, I was supposed to gather human companions, but now it feels like I've gathered nothing but monsters. I will be under your care from now on. Rishia. Likewise. Naofumi. Welcome. Your clothes match Phiro's, Phiro. Welcome to the party, Raphatalia. And so we welcomed Rishia as a new member.